Commentators, are you there?
We are here, yes. I didn't know, like, if you were live, were you going to make an intro? Like, that was what I was waiting for.
No, we are live. You can introduce the race if you want.
But they can hear us now.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay, usually I'm used to Hell Knight making an introduction here, but I guess I'll do it today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing Silver Gauntlets race. Today we have for you two exciting teams, Celtland Crusaders, who are Flant and Kaori. And on the other side, we have Chickensanity with iateyourpie and Rockchalk. With me today is my co-commentator, Emo Soda, and, of course, our lovely host, Hell Knight. Do you have anything to say, Hell Knight, before we start?
Oh, no. You can start.
Okay. Well,
Kaori and Rockchalk, right? iateyourpie.
Kaori and Flant is Celtland Crusaders, and iateyourpie and Rockchalk GN are Chickensanity. Well, I mean, if everyone is ready to go, I'm ready to get started. How about you, Emo?
We have the layout wrong on the
Yeah, and I'm confused. I think we might have some technical difficulties here. I think I see what the problem is. I think I have the link wrong. Hold on. I was so certain that the teams were laid out differently. Well, there we go. Good for me at least, no? Okay, yeah, okay, it is Flant and iateyourpie on team Celtland Crusaders, Kaori Dude, and Rockchalk on team Chickensanity. It's a star special today, I've been told, so we can get ourselves ready for a particularly exciting and probably awful seat. So I hope you guys are ready for a long one. I am. It's 2:30 where I am, but I'm all ready to go to the morning. How about you, Emo? Well, it's not that late for you, is it?
No, sure isn't. It's 5:35 now, so it's a good time to start a race.
Yeah.
Probably right after anyway.
Yeah, for you it is. I'm a sucker for punishment. So I'm like, hey, let's just do a race at 2:30 in the morning. What can go wrong? It just seems that we're dealing with some small technical difficulties. I think Kaori's side, so we're just waiting a second there, and then we can get.
I haven't really seen too much of either of these teams here. I've seen some individual of the players, but not them as working as teams here. So it's pretty cool to see them square off here.
Yeah, exactly.
Starting off here.
Yeah. Seems that what we're doing from the Dongo, Jabu, Forest, Fire, Shadow, and Spirit seem to be the required dungeons. No water and no deck. That's always nice. I hate water personally. I find it a slog. Can be really quick though.
And we got a couple hints there. Pierre is a gold skull. We got Viggoron is dead. Nocturne is at Ocarina of Time, so that's a pretty big one.
Yeah, if it's Nocturne on Ocarina of Time, that means that we're going to get ready for all dungeons, right? Because Shadow Temple is indeed required for the seed. To be experience.
I mean, you'd rather know from the beginning whether or not it's all dungeons. You can route it a lot differently, and in co-op you can really cover a lot of ground, and a lot of it's going to be required anyway. So I think in this kind of a seed, both the teams are going to want to cover the most ground as possible, and I think the winning team will probably end up doing that.
Yeah, true. That's definitely true. Now we're seeing some scrubs here, and the first one just scams you outright, takes your money, and gives you back less in return. A Zora skill in the shop, also very nice.
Ooh, it's only 45 too, so
Yeah,
Super
very cheap.
affordable.
What a bargain. Unfortunately, the scrubs in Ganon's Castle are just all scammers. They all give you the same thing, a blue rupee for your 10 rupees. And before we continue any further, I would like to do a quick shout out to our trackers tonight. We have on the tracking team Tiris and I think name kind of eludes me. I think it was Winnie the Pooh, but slightly different. And of course, I want to thank Star, the moderator, and Hell Knight for hosting the tournament. And we see a mirror shield in the water trial. That's always nice.
Pretty free. Nice, so you don't have to buy a shield as an adult in this seed for KR.
Yeah, that's true. You never buy a shield when it takes another victory in this one.
I mean, they know it's a medallion too, so it's just you're gonna have to pick that up eventually. I think for them, you're definitely rooting for even more items in Ganon, so it's more efficient that way.
And with a shield, you're a bit more safe against the pretty nasty fights as early on against the
Stalfos.
yeah, exactly. So it's a nice help.
Like the number one reason not to go for that, even if you're confident in it, the Stalfos can just own you. It's pretty. it's both funny and definitely disheartening at the same time.
And we see
Oh,
ZLs on the windmill. That's very nice to find that early.
Feels pretty good.
I mean, when you pick up both a skill, I don't know if that team must want to pick up a skill, but either way, I don't think the other team will take very long to find it. But having both a skill and ZLs available, I mean, you have so many places you can go right away. Just a bomb back, and I mean, they can pretty much go anywhere they want.
Oh, they found a Deku shield for Pi in the market.
Yeah. And Rudo's letter from Anju. Well, that's very kind of her.
Wow.
That is definitely something you like to see this early on.
Jeez.
So I think quite a few people here are quite well aware of how horrible it can be when you are playing a seed and you suddenly need Rudo's letter and it's just nowhere to be found.
Oh, a little bit of damage there for KRE. Could still die, even with a shield.
Gotta be careful here.
Oh my god.
This is nerve-wracking. Oh, what a fight, though. And he got him. Was definitely calling a bit close there, and it was like a couple of moments I was like, well, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, so we see one player from each team here, an adult CAC, clearing out that. It's one of your best locations in the game.
Right. Especially since I believe if you go into the grottos there as well, I believe there's a shrub grotto in CAC, right? I'm pretty sure. But at least nearby it. Or am I just mistaken? No, I'm mistaken. Never mind, my bad. But I did see 20 Skulls is dead, by the way. Gold Skulltula token from 20 Skulls.
Nice.
Very nice. I mean, if you get a ZL, so you might as well just go check out the Composer grade right away, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's another song. It's right here. I don't see why you wouldn't. Your partner could also, depending on when they get ZL, because it's pretty early in adult, so you can get it on the way to actual ZL checks. Depending on what they find later in the game, that can definitely inform how the other player routes it.
And I think we're about to see Koari go child here. I was about to mention actually that they're both still adults on Chickensanity, whereas the others have split up the ages. But it does appear that we'll be seeing a child routing. Oh, long time. I mean, that's not what you're looking for, right? Like, that's not really what gets your blood going.
I mean, it's not that bad. You can explore a little bit more in Forest logically. It opens, the Spirit Temple Skull. We've seen more than a few matches. Just being hard required to get that. So I think he's probably relieved to see that. It's pretty early, so it doesn't really matter.
I mean, this early on, you'd much rather see something like Bolero or Fire, right? Or even better, like the Wasteland song to get to Spirit Temple.
Yeah, Requiem. Yeah, those are definitely way nicer, for sure. I mean, Song of Time is like one of your worst ones, but I mean, it gets a little bit more utility in these settings, but it's still pretty bad. At least for the early game. For the extreme late game, though, sure, it's great.
There used to be a butter knife in the bazaar, Child Bazaar, and he does seem to be taking up. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll take it. He has sticks, but never hurts to have the butter knife.
I don't think we've seen Day Market yet. Yeah, ooh, yeah, we definitely haven't. Hover boots for
light
95.
arrows, hovers in the shop, right there.
The lights
That's
for how
nice, yeah.
much?
155, I think. So that's pretty cheap.
God. Yeah, they still need a wallet.
Yeah, that's true. They do need a wallet, but only one, not two. That's very nice. I do have to wonder though what a merchant like that is thinking, just selling off like his light arrows, you know, the ultimate arrows to vanquish evil. Yeah, 155 rupees, that seems fair. Range economy going on in this seat.
Yeah, they're not really selling, they're on sale.
Being a very clean slingshot game from iateyourpie.
Actually pretty nice. Refills your wallet. I don't think you ever really that.
At least he can buy those hover boots, actually. That's kind of perfect for him.
Ooh. Yeah, that's
That is
some good routing.
Yep. Sometimes Rando just be like that. Sometimes it just throws you a bone. It's like, here you go.
A little interesting seeing Flant still go into Ganon's here. Basically only for the mirror shoot. Oh, actually, no. I don't think either of them on this team have checked Ganon's yet.
Not yet,
I think
no.
they skipped that.
He's only going to find disappointment in this part of it. He's like, okay, surely this one will have something else than a blue rupee, and it's a gold Skulltula token. Even worse, honestly. Because so far it doesn't look like gold Skulltula tokens are gonna give you much.
And meanwhile, on the other team here, Kaori is going through 3 songs.
Yeah.
And Rockchalk is exploring more of early adult. So we haven't seen River yet. So it'll be interesting to see if there's anything here. It's also interesting too, you know, knowing that letters at CAC Anju, why not just go back child, go up domain, hand in the letter, then you already have ice available to you in Logic with Zio.
Yeah.
I think it's. Oh wait, Song of Time. So this is like one of the weird applications is there in Shadow Trials. Like those blocks just exist for whatever reason, but they're in Logic for sure.
Interesting, because that it's a good, like it's an interesting play. They would check that chest, like, you know, a good use of Song of Time. I mean, I can understand going Sora's River this early on though, because there is absolutely scrub grottos there, so you know that makes it a bit more valuable than it would be on standard set. And the Goron is also dead.
Yeah, I think that was one of the Temple of Time hints too.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I'll see what's in. Chickensanity, which is, by the way, a great name. I don't want to be biased, but with a name like that, it's hard not to be. They also see the hover boot. Probably getting a little excited, seeing the light arrows as well. Okay, nice. Let's start to use. You see the location.
Be better for light arrows. If they're like an adult pack, that'd be way more convenient, because when are you ever really gonna go child to see like how many times you're gonna go child, I think is a consideration, even in co-op like this.
Right. But I mean, you know where it is, and this is obviously a thing that both teams are gonna to route that in as. Let's see if the Stalfos fight goes a bit better for Flant here. So far, and it can be tricky. Oh, see Mido's house. I guess he skipped. Oh, Greg is there. And magic. Well, Star, you've made a very interesting seed because it's basically just a vanilla Greg. I mean, that is already pretty interesting. A vanilla validation. And that's a slingshot, I think. Finding slingshot as a child is pretty nice, right? Because you can just go do the check and lost wood, which you're going to go do anyway because for a tree song, right?
Yeah. I mean, always skip it, but a little crazy.
Yeah, true. And it doesn't take that much time. It's like it's just a free item, no matter what it is. Oh yeah, this is definitely a star special. I mean, so far it seems pretty okay though. Nothing too weird and out of the ordinary. Some really nice items to pick early, up early on. Haven't really seen anything too weird in this yet. Still time though.
Yeah, everyone stayed in their own lanes pretty much, and we haven't seen that much new ground yet. It's basically just everyone's covering each other's tracks for the most part.
We are seeing a new scrub grotto though.
That's true.
There's nothing interesting in there, just more rupees. Yeah, the only zany thing on this seed so far is that it's all dungeons confirmed right at the beginning. But that's nice. I mean, that's easier to route in, actually. Definitely better than finding out right at the end that it's... Oh, oops, it's AD.
Quickpie is going to go to River. And then we see his teammate Flant. He's going to go back Child.
Interesting. A little unusual to go all together at the same time.
I mean, you have to do 3-song at some point, right? It's very, very unlikely that you don't need to do, you know, like 2/3 of those songs, and you definitely almost always have to get ZL anyway.
So this time ZL is in a very easy location, and they know that. You have to be adult for ZL. That's pretty unusual. I don't see that often.
His son's on Ona's, so your song Blair gives you Bolero, Sons, and, you know, we haven't seen Saria's actually yet. Interestingly.
How much do you know about these runners, Emo? I mean, we're just dealing here with the usual opening routes. You know, nothing too special going on or exciting. Are you familiar with any of these races?
Not too much. I think we'll see some pretty standard stuff. You know, and we have seen some pretty standard stuff up to this point. Out of the routes, I mean, it's all been pretty safe, but that's kind of what you'd expect in a tournament setting. You're going to play very consistent, very safe, and only play to, you know, what you know you're going to get. I don't think you'll see like too many teams take like crazy risks, both players or something, and maybe they find like some wacky god route. But you know, outside of that, it's a lot about communication. And it's a lot about just covering that ground. So whatever you think will make your team cover more ground in terms of checks, and increase your checks per minute, I think is the real key. Especially when you know it's AD, you're just going to split up every check in the game between the two players at some point.
I feel like even more so than in normal races. Like I feel execution here matters so much because if you have two people on the same team both being really good at execution, you're actually like doing way more checks than you would normally do. Oh, whereas a team with one person good at execute, one less so, you're just covering even less ground than you would do normally. Because, like, if, you know, for example, the other team is, like, not getting the items that they need, and the other person is slow, and, you know, for example, the other player in that team is then waiting for that person to find something very important for him to continue progressing, you know, you can stall two players at the same time. Kind of what I mean.
think for both of these teams, it's very even power level between the two runners. So I think I Ate Your Pie and Flant are. I think they've been playing longer, definitely, than Kaori and Rockchalk, who I know are definitely a little bit newer runners. Don't know exactly how long they've been playing, at least a couple months, I think. But so I know the experience will probably go to Celtland Crusaders here.
Right.
But outside of that, I'm not too sure.
They definitely go either way. I think these are two pretty matched teams so far. I mean, what I'm looking at, I think like both teams are pretty much playing on a very consistent and similar level.
Childlike here from Pie.
Yep, and just a piece of heart in the nothing too. But there's plenty more checks left to go in here. I always find out it's interesting when Scrub-Sanity is on that a lot of areas suddenly become a lot higher value than before. But now there's way more checks to check out.
Yeah, that adds value to a lot of quote-unquote bad areas, but it also adds value to good areas too. So like Lost Woods gets even better. I mean, you had two scrub grottos here, or scrubs here, and then you add one over there, and okay, they're all cheaper now too. It's like, well,
yeah,
now it's just insane. So it's something to be aware of, that there's like a small like density pocket, like right here next to the owl.
right.
You definitely have an item. It's effectively Sphere 0 because you start with Deku equipment.
Yep.
And it's not too hard to route in, especially if you do something like Open Grotto to Owl. I don't know who would really do that in this kind of a setting, but
You never know.
yeah, you just go immediate child and do that.
Unfortunately, Kilia so far doesn't really seem to be holding anything interesting. He seems to be safe warping right back to the forest.
Because of the Pickery, or no, the Deku Shield placing of that, it's kind of been a little awkward running child.
Yeah. No bombs, but that it limits your options greatly, obviously. Like without bombs, like Lost Woods, it's just not nearly as good with bombs because there's just so many grottos there that are very nice to go into.
Yeah, the two players that went when we see adult shooting is dead. We see the two players that went stay at adult early, and then the two players that only did child routing essentially. You're seeing they're catching up a little bit here. They're gonna get to skip Lake, that they know is dead, so that'll be pretty good for him.
Well, I mean, so far it seems to be pretty barren, like Sphere 0. There is obviously Rita's Letter, which is very nice, and Hover Boots and Mirror Shield and Magic. But those are not really items that open like a lot of places, right? Like it's not bombs, it's not hook shots, you're still kind of limited to what you can do. In a situation like that, like what's your best option? Just to go deck you early, or what is your plan in such a situation? Like you can't find the items you really need.
I definitely think Deku's the right answer here. I think it's the right answer in most every seed, I would say. Just do Deku. It's just great.
I did
stuff. Even when it's a stone, it has to be a barren stone and nothing on Ocarina of Time, and it just doesn't happen that often. You're gonna find something in Deku.
Especially now that we know it's AD, Deku is just hard required, so you might as well just go do it right away. I mean, if there's something there, that's just a nice bonus, but you're gonna have to get it out of the way at some point. We'll do it now.
Yeah, I just want to see a team have one player just rush Deku. Just go back child, rush Deku. That's all I want to see.
First thing to do?
Yeah. Kind of crazy, but...
You think that would be an effective play to make?
You would have to cut something out because you'll see player teams go 2 adult early, and it's like, okay, they're gonna both go to CAC, or one go to CAC and one go, somewhere else. Or you see the child adult split. I've been seeing too many teams do just double child. What if a team just did normal 3-song early Deku, all that good stuff? They just ignored adult entirely. If that would be a little bit more efficient. I don't know. You're covering way less ground that way though. So I think it's definitely been a contested topic of how closely do you actually follow your teammate? You never I think want to be exactly on top of them, but.
We are seeing bomb choose though, Deku Stream, and that's really good find to get this early on in the game. Bomb bag obviously would be nicer, but worst case scenario, Deku bomb choose are just as good.
I definitely actually preferred bomb choose, if anything. They just have way more utility. They're faster. You can aim them pretty well.
Yeah.
Whereas with normal bombs, just kind of pain in the ass. I don't know.
I also think it's pretty valuable because they allow for a pretty easy skip in the DC. Now you might not want to do that in a seat like this where you have no way of the hero him, but when you know that, for example, DC is Baron, it just allows you to get through it so quickly.
They just have a way more utility too. They'll unlock items sometimes when you have dungeon skulls like this, trials, things like that. It all kind of adds up.
I've just been told that we've seen 2 bomb chip packs so far. Were they both in Deku? No, right? There's also one in Kokiri's sword chest, right?
Yeah, there's a sword chest and one in Deku now too. We'll see how many in just a sec, probably. They're gonna have to equip Deku nuts here.
About to see B1 skip, so we're about to come up on the end of this seat. Of course, there's always the trick I feel with the settings here, that the gold Skulltula in the back of the tree, right? That one is kind of out of the way, but it could have something really good, and you kind of have to route it in at some point. It's not hard, right? But because if you have bomb chews, it's pretty easy to get to, I believe.
It's fine. I wouldn't want to use a bomb chew just to see what it is, because you can always just go back to it later once boomerangs and logic. Otherwise, you can't even get it. So what does it matter that? As long as you know that it's still there. I mean, I think for something exactly like that, it's locked by Rang. In addition to bombs, and you only have chews and no bomb bag, it's just too high risk to really go for it.
He does go look and see what it is, though, so we're about to find out. I feel like I would check it out, just so you know what it is and you don't have to come back for it, because it's kind of in an annoying spot. You have to go all the way to Deku as a child. It's kind of annoying. I think I would just rather
he's probably safe scumming the bomb shoe, I think.
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, wow. 20.
Pretty lucky. What it is? And a fool, yeah, indeed. Shouldn't have come there. And it's just Deku sticks. How appropriate. I tried just lining up that B1 skip. I think he had it there.
10-pack in the sword chest and then the 10-pack in Deku, so that's pretty strong.
Right. We still see him pushing that block down there just in case he has to come back, but he just checked it. Oh no, he's going to check it now. He's going to regret pushing that block because there's nothing worth coming back here for.
See a wallet here on Flant's side. It's in the Lost Woods grotto right before Sacred Forest Meadow, yeah.
Very nice to find the wallet. I mean, it is quite required for the seed after all. You do need to get those light arrows eventually. Also see Rockchalk picking up the fish. Or blue one. That must be this.
I mean, the only thing that we've seen that is wallet locked is light arrows, so probably not getting too excited about it. But...
No. Nice to have. I mean, wallet, you're almost always bound to find at least one by the time you're done.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Domain or Goron City Shop either, so for all we know, there's going to be another wallet-locked item.
Could even be for a bigger wall. Both teams just covering a lot of ground. We are seeing Zora's Domain finally, so we're about to find out what's in this shop.
Ooh. Yeah, that early scale coming in handy.
It just saves you a lot of time. I find like finding early scale is so nice. It just allows you to do take so many nice shortcuts. Like I feel like Zora's Domain is such a pain in the ass to get to. So having just a way to get there from Lake Lilia and from the Lost Village is just really nice.
Dead Shop and Domain.
Yep. Nothing in there.
Yeah, just the ability to hand and letter your first child segment like this is just so good.
Yeah, you love this. I believe we just found a vanilla Saria song, didn't we? I looked away for a second, but I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah, it looks like it.
Rocks are also dead, just a recovery heart. That's definitely not worth the effort.
Where did they find this hookshot?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same. I mean, that's the hookshot can really be an item that just kind of limits your options. It's such a important one. I mean, they have choose, so that's nice, but a hookshot would definitely flesh it out. Could be on 10 spots. I don't think we know that thing.
We saw the Requiem and Ice hint here too.
Oof.
That's probably required, so...
Oh yeah.
I think we'll probably see Rockchalk go into Ice, like, probably sooner rather than later.
I imagine, yeah. I do. I think you're probably right.
Oh, apparently the hookshot was on the skull and the vines and Deku, so... We'll definitely see, you know, every player clear Deku here.
Yeah.
And they go from there.
I can't believe I missed that, though. I thought I saw that skull. I thought it was just a rupee. Oh, well.
This is actually pretty smart to route in before you even do Deku on Rockchalk's side, so... Makes a lot of sense. They did Deku already. I don't think they did.
No, he didn't. Well, the Ocarina game is completely dead. Just 20 rupees for your efforts. Could be worse. And it makes sense, I guess, to go Goron City if you get Saria's song. It's just one more extra check you can do, right? Yeah. I mean, like, when are you gonna come back there as a child? Like, never, right? Like, it's pretty much like a done deal at this point.
I definitely decide on the, you know, you should rather probably just do Domain when you're there. Question is though, like, do you go to Domain at the end of like a river segment? Like, you have scale, like, you know, use to get there? Is that in logic, or just like get there out of logic? I don't know. I think a lot of things go into like whether or not you do Domain, especially. Yeah, it really depends on the situation.
And we see that the Burning Cack is the Song of Storms. That is not what you want to see, is it? And a Megaton Hammer in the Goron City shop. I think that was definitely worth coming for. And a Boomerang.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, speaking of boomerangs, we see Rockchalk going into Jabu's without one. Probably hoping to find one in there, but he's going to be very disappointed. Not there.
Oh, that's bad timing for them as a team. Rather unfortunate. I mean, Kiori is just not even to the point of Goron City yet, so it's like at least a couple minutes away. So I think we'll probably see Rockchalk check everything in Jabu, relay it over, immediately finds Boomerang, and then you're already out of Jabu at that point. So kind of depends on like when exactly Kaori here learns of the Boomerang and then relays that over to Rockchalk. If they even go to Goron City as a child, they might go as an adult too.
Yeah.
It's also an option for them.
The boomerang, that's not an item you want to like miss out on. It's so essential like hunting skulls and like helps you get to like a lot of items as a child, like in dungeons and stuff. Like it's just so useful to have. For example, the one in the bottom of the well. I mean, they won't be going there anytime soon, but we do see a strength 1 coming out for Rockchalk, and I'm sure he's very happy about that. Oh, it's called Ari. I'm very sorry. I will be amending that mistake from now on. Finding strength in Jabus. You know, I mean, it is unfortunate he doesn't have a boomerang coming here, but that strength is still very, very nice to find. Probably worth his time coming here.
Yeah, strength in Jabu.
Also, apparently the boomerang was only 15 rupees. What a bargain.
Yeah, 15 for a ring, 45 for a hammer. I'm like, okay, what else you got?
Yeah, exactly, right? Give me everything you've got. I'll take everything you have. And the water refill from the scrub. Strength in Java beats strength on Goron pots, and that's really... I mean, I think the main benefit of going Jabu, even though he didn't have the boomerang, I mean, you know, he's going in now, he'll be able to do ice scanner pretty much like right away. So that's pretty nice. That was 30. That's so free. And the toilet is dead, so that's nice.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'm not surprised to see Flant. You know, he has the boomerang. He's already pretty close to Jabus. He has the letter. He's like, I'm going. Of course you are. You know, with but you have everything you need to clear it out.
Just a much stronger position for Flant here, and the Celtland Crusaders.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the choice there of just not going to Goron City when you know Shop Sanity's on. I feel like you want to, like, you know, even having gone Domain there, I think the natural step would be to go to Goron City. So it's just really unfortunate that it's just going to cost them, you know, an extra trip to Jabu for one of the players.
Like, it's not a place you can quickly get to. Like, it's definitely a few minutes lost just traveling there.
Yes. Even if you have Serenade and Scale, it's still, you know, kind of a trek.
The race, I would have said it was pretty close a while ago, but that boomerang pickup, I feel like really puts Celtic Crusaders pretty much in the lead right now. But definitely not a lead that's not like something you couldn't overcome.
It's not possible yet. But I mean, it's also the hammers too, though.
Right.
Like it's such a potent combination that they were both affordable. They're both in one spot the other team might not even go to early on in Goron City. It's just all kind of lining up here for them.
What I find kind of worrisome as well. I think 10 Skulls was dead. It was just a blue rupee, so I don't think Skulls are going to play a meaningful role in this game.
I mean, there's still 30, but
right.
I don't know if we've seen that hint yet. I don't think so. We've seen Frog's Chew is dead and Bigoron is dead. You know what OoT is.
I'm quite worried because we're now seeing Rockchalk going to Lake Hylia. So that means they're not going to Goron City. And that means they'll not be finding the hammer or the boomerang for even longer.
Yeah, the not even having the hammer part is just extra brutal, man. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, hammer is like one of the best items you can find, right? Super useful.
Yeah, it opens up a lot of what explosives would. You clear a dungeon.
They have access to it, but they don't know where it is, so that's the unfortunate part. While meanwhile, Celtic Crusaders does have it, and like getting that item will just give them so much momentum because they can now start looking at checks that Chickensanity is just not going to be able to do.
You could even see something like Pie going adult only for like, back, adult clear, and then just go straight back child and just follow in the footsteps, go Jabu. Really depends on if there's an item in here. I mean, they'll find the strength, and then at that point, I think we might see that.
Yeah, strength of course very important. A lot of things this early on in the game. Pretty much like Forest Temple is pretty much blocked by strength. Have to get.
Yeah. I mean, they'll just be a bow away from Forest Temple. They could just clear DC without even having bomb bag potentially. Then you really just you can clear fire at that point. Really just looking at Shadow and Spirit here, so you're looking for an extra strength. Looking for, I mean, they already have Mirror Shield.
Yeah, and Spirit and Shadow, they're still so far away. I mean, Requiem and Nocturne both really are not even remotely accessible yet. So like thinking of Nocturne and Spirit is like not even relevant at this point. Like it's something that's your end game, right? At that point, you probably already have all the items.
Yeah. So I mean, the first hurdle for them then will just be finding Iron Boots and Long Shot throughout the Water Temple.
We do see Flant picking up the strength now. Well, the Boomerang will cooperate with him, which it now does. They must be feeling really good right now. I mean, they have all the momentum going their way.
It's just a really good spot to be in. I mean, the only weird thing about it, it's more of a thing on the seed, is that the song layout's been kind of awful. It's just like not been very...
Yeah, awful is an understatement, I think. Like, probably like a worst case scenario, honestly.
Well, I mean, you find ZL at like Windmill, like it's not like ZL at Requiem and Requiems on OoT or something like that. Like it's
true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. It could be worse, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not great though. Like you're missing a couple of important warp songs, a couple that are probably required, and the ones that you know of. The good ones, Nocturne and Wreck, are both in Ice Cavern and OoT, so it's just like, alright. I mean, where's my Water Temple supplies? It's the only thing that matters at this point, right?
Right.
I mean, they can go to Nocturne, though, and, or not Nocturne, Ice Cavern for Wreck, and potentially find an item there. It's a lot better on Dungeon Skulls. Probably the best dungeon on these settings.
Right, yeah, because there's a lot of skulls in there that you can, that are actually valuable. Like normally on a standard seed, just like okay, yeah, whatever, Ice Cavern. I'm just gonna do the 2-3 checks in there that like are there and get my song. And that's the value of Ice Cavern. It's usually just a song, right? But on these settings, like Ice Cavern is such a important place to check.
Ice Cavern is just a cursed dungeon. You should just always clear it because fuck Ice Cavern.
Yeah. Unless you're Tears, then you bother. Ice Cavern, that's your
It's just way more often the case that it just leads to something that leads to an item or a location opening up.
Well, and I mean, if you have done, at least like it's no longer in the back of your head that you have to go all back that place. Like at least if you've checked it out, okay, there's nothing. You don't have to be concerned about it anymore. You can focus on different things. You don't have to route that awkward place into your routes anymore. Just go to Ice Cavern Forehead, Goomba. I agree. Just go.
Just such a good play. I don't know. It's just...
So as far as I can take it from you so far, then it's Deku Tree and Ice Cavern. Like just go there. Just go there right away.
Pretty much.
Now we are about to see the part of Jabu that we haven't got to experience yet. Of course, the part that is all locked out by the. And words are hard sometimes, aren't they? By the Boomerang, or they're accessible to the Celtic Crusaders, so they're gonna go find them now. And, hopefully for them, it's something good. But if I were on team Chickensanity, I'd really be hoping that there is nothing there.
This is a bit of an aggressive dip for Pie and Ganon's Castle. I think he's just coming here for Mirror Shield for sure, but I think he's going to clear out a Spirit Trial here, actually. This is the first look that we'll see in the seed here between the two teams.
super risky. Gets hit by the laser. I hate those. They always seem to like never let it go, right? Like you can even go like out of line of sight, but they'll just keep shooting at you. They just really want to be sure they get you.
Yeah, you can always stun them with Deku Nuts. For the big ones, you can stun them with just bombs. Takes 2 hits to kill those guys.
Yes, indeed. And now we're seeing the first place in Jabu that we haven't seen before yet. The piece of art. Very unfortunate.
There's always Baronade. Seeing some discussion here in the chat about which dungeon is scarier, whether it's Forest Temple or Shadow Temple. I'm going to cast my vote for Forest Temple too. That music just it messes me up, man. There's something really unsettling about it. Shadow Temple, I don't know. It's almost like comical levels of like scary. Like that's what they might consider scary. Being a magic though in Spirit Trial, well, I already have access to that, but it doesn't hurt to have some more, especially for the Ganon fight. You can run out of magic pretty easy. And the other was at Mido's house, so it's really just a nothing sandwich.
Yeah, not what you were hoping to find in Spirit Trial, I'm sure. You're hoping for something a bit big, a bit more impactful than that. Gets his mirror shield, obviously. Nice to have. Saves you by the thing. And a Deku shield right there next to it. I didn't even know that. It's just a complete starter pack for speedrunning this game. You want crouch taps? Here's your crouch taps. Inuit of Forest from the Bolero Fire check. Pretty nice.
Ooh.
Over there, get your next warp zone.
Really what you're looking for. In terms of warps and locations, it's pretty good. Almost surprising we haven't seen a crater dip this kind of late into the seed, but been seeming a lot of similar routing, pretty much based around 3-song.
We are seeing Koari going to Goron City, so I think they might be about to find themselves a boomerang and probably curse themselves for their luck. I mean, Fire Temple is a very legitimate option, right, for team Crusaders at this point.
Yeah, with that wallet, you can not really worry about having too many hearts, which will be great for a lot of these players that are still at 4 hearts. You don't have to worry about the timer at that point, so you'll be good to go. So I think at that point, even with Choose, it's probably good enough, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to waste Choose just to kill Vivaggio, unless I knew Vivaggio was an item or something like that.
Fair.
It's just a lot of checks, and it's a lot of the teams like kind of spread, among the scene and how much reach that you have. So I think it's just way worth it as a team to not, go for like a early Fire Temple, at least for, at least clearing it. Then you're committing to at least a 2 visit for one of the players. So it's like, I don't know. I'd rather avoid it if I were them.
Oh, a Stone of Agony from Link to Goron. That's 2 meme items so far, right? We're just missing the ice arrows and that's the last one. I always seem to forget that. Ice arrows, Stone of Agony, green rupee, and come on, chat, help me out here. I need to know. Oh, hammer and boomerang. I'm sure they'll be very happy to find those. They have plenty of money. Be buying both of them.
Yeah, it's still early on. I mean, Rockchalk can just go here too. Right now, you can just spend a bomb chew to go there. But again, that depends on how soon that they relay that information over. Depends on.
Oh wait, a bow in Jabu on the skull.
Oh, wow!
A nice find for King Celtic Crusaders. That is definitely something you can find.
That's fucking huge.
That's something that without that boomerang, they would have been able to find it, but now they have to go back to go get that bow. hopefully for them, they'll be able to find a bow early on. We'll see. Perhaps here in the golden as we're about to see our first run 85 deep.
It's actually really weird that Flant hasn't gone to do Deku yet. See.
Yeah, well, I mean, wait, one of them did do Jabu. I mean, a Deku, right? For sure.
Yeah, that was Pi.
But it's wrong, it's Cracker. Oh, wait, no, never mind. It's a stone Deku.
Yeah.
Baka, sorry. Oh, wait. I called it. There it is, right there on the boulder maze, the second fairy bow. That is some fortunate luck here for Team Chickensanity.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is failing them
by
out
the
here.
teeth.
Wow. And immediately finding that hammer too, so just getting a pretty big advantage here, just checking Gorn City only as adult rather than doing a child dip, then doing adult. You can always check a little bit more later if you have all the items in.
Of course, if you have Song of Time, you might as well go check the Gorn City Scrub shit there. It's like pretty much the only opportune time you're gonna do this, because you don't want to have to come back here later, right? And honestly, in their position, how do you feel like when you have both the bow and hookshot and the hammer? Like, how about would you do Fire Temple now? Because now it's like you can just completely clear it, right? Like everything's successful.
I mean,
especially.
I think Freaky already he knows that. I mean, he already has the boomerang or the Jabu item, so I think for him it just go do Jabu, and then you can go do Forest or whatever after you get that strength from Jabu.
Yeah.
He knows that from his partner. I think for the Flant side, where he has all of the items and he knows where Hookshot is. I mean, obviously you just go get the Hookshot at Deku, so you're gonna see like dungeon trading between the two teams there. So Pi is an adult CAG. I think he's gonna go to DC and dip that at the very least, and you can save scum a lot of the chews away if you don't end up finding anything. So
yeah,
I mean, Dodongos is one of the best dungeons in the game on these settings. It's just so you have scrubs and you have dungeon skulls. Like it's one of the best dungeons too. So
it's an extremely high amount of like checks now, because again there's also no keys in there, so all the checks are potentially an item, right? Like, so that already makes it pretty nice. It already makes DC good in the standard settings, but here it's just it's over the top, right? Pretty much one of the isn't it the best dungeon to go check out pretty much?
Yeah, I mean,
that's so quick too, right? Like fast to it.
Like if you compare the two between Ice Cavern and Dodongos, if you like swap the two locations and Ice Cavern happened to be at the Dodongos entrance, for example, I don't know. I think because of the length of the dungeon, it's like I don't know, twice the length of Ice Cavern. It's like a third more or something like that. But I think just in terms of that and like checks per minute and all that, I think it's pretty similar to Ice Cavern, but obviously I think it's better overall. But you're always pretty much going to do it anyway, every seed, at least for co-op settings. So I don't know. I think I would edge it toward Ice Cavern more due to the fact that I think a lot of people still undervalue Ice Cavern.
So now that Team Chickensanity has picked up their boomerang and bow and the hammer, do you feel like the chances for these teams have equalized more, or would you still say that Crusaders are still like well in the lead because of all the extra ground they've been able to offer? Do you feel like the items like haven't really given that much of a lead to them because of the bow find?
At this point, they're pretty much equal. It's an all dungeon seed, so it's going to depend on your total number of dungeons done. And in terms of key items between the two teams, pretty much the same. So I think it's pretty negligible right now.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, we did see a pretty Mimi Chew on in the Dongos in Goron City. Seems to not go quite the way he wanted it to go. And that's a very nice tunic color there on the Goron tunic. A nice fuchsia pink. I like it.
Yeah, it's one of the best colors.
I do. I like any shade of purple works for me. Love it. I've seen every single team picking up the hammer and the boomerang. Every single member of the team. It makes sense. These items are just so important, right? Like even if you're like gonna go different ways, you just want to have these things. All of your
Yeah, a lot of similar decisions that we're seeing from the two teams. Really nothing too different.
I mean, obviously, it makes sense, right? These are kind of the expected plays you would see. I mean, they're very safe options. They're not really taking any risks. They're just like, they're doing the logical things they can do.
There's not a lot of risks you can take in an all dungeon seed though.
No,
sometimes, so it's I don't know how much is it actually in the control or whether it's just a kind of a symptom of the seed, but. We won't see any breakaways until like mid game, and we're probably 10-15 minutes away from that at least.
Have you seen many of the scenes? Seems that Epona's song is on Minuet, by the way. That's very nice. That's a nice pickup there for a team called the Crusaders. It does open up the possibility of, for example, checking out DDG.
Yes, to all the items too, so it's kind of a tough decision. I mean, obviously you still go Forest, because Forest Battalion in the seed, so can't really not do that at this point. But after that, I think it's a pretty good option for Rockchalk here. Looking on the other side here, Kiori is going to probably enter DC. Is probably going to go to DC. Flant's just finishing up Deku. Probably going to go Forest, so probably just going to see pretty much a mirror at this point.
Yep. Makes sense. Both teams pretty much equal in items, so they're probably considering the same options. I think we're about to see a DC indeed.
So, Spell, what's your favorite dungeon?
In Zelda? In Ocarina of Time?
Not Ocarina of Time, yeah.
I'm a huge sucker for the Spirit Temple, but if I was just going to judge by like my first playthrough, like not looking at like from a random point of view, just from like how I enjoy the game, it has to be Forest. Well, I just love the ambience, I love the music, I love the way it looks and everything, and just like it's your first temple, obviously, and like it really feels like a big step up from like the dungeons you did as a child. I think it's like it's a really big moment in the game, and I love Forest. What about you?
I hate Forest Temple.
Yeah, I imagine. I think even like for you, like after your first time playing the game, like you have raced this game so many times. I imagine you must hate this game.
That Forest sucks, but I think the best is Deku, but my favorite's probably Spirit Temple.
Right. I love the music.
Oh yeah.
I do actually have a good argument though why Forest Temple is not sucky. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
I think it's a good time where you can like when you're doing a race, for example. There's always at some point you get this point in the race where you're kind of stuck and you don't really know. You have to think about like what am I gonna do next? And I feel like when you're at that point, just go to Forest Temple because you can just go autopilot and you can just start thinking about what you want. You just like you're not even thinking about doing Forest Temple because you have it in your muscle memory after the 5th time you do it because it's always the same, nothing special. And you can just put your mind off and like start thinking about okay, so after I'm done here, what am I gonna do next? Like, what's my next big move?
I think the key is to get to every dungeon to get to that point, or just every dungeon you're just thinking about the next play. I think that's the real ideal point to get to, but yeah, I think it's one of the best like think tanks probably in the game. It's just very boring, very samey. Doesn't really change ever. It's always a full clear, no matter what, pretty much.
Pretty much always route the same way. Like even if like it's stone, you still have to go on clear because of the way the key logic works now. Like it's just such an awful dungeon, isn't it?
But we got irons here. Irons and Dodongos here for Kaori.
Nice. Definitely something you would like to see. And also a fool. Nice little chill while you're doing a warm place like this. And a bomb back too. Wow, this Dodongo's cabin is loaded.
Wow. Wow, it's just there too. It's just walk right up, get your bomb
Just
bag.
right there, yep. Here you go.
There you go.
Hey, you like those iron boots? How about some bombs? And we also see iateyourpie going into Forest Temple. So you're right, we are indeed going to see a mirror here. But not so much from Flant's point of view. I don't know where he's going. He's just doing more child checks, isn't he?
Yeah, it's I think the real reason is he's going to Jabu right now.
Okay.
He doesn't have Serenade, so you're gonna route stuff along the way that your partner hasn't checked yet.
Right.
Just to cover the most ground, fill in gaps here and there. Probably gonna get Scarecrow Song here, do child fishing, then go straight to Jabu. I mean, the only thing for him is that I don't know if he actually has scale or not.
It's not in his tracker.
Yeah. So I don't know if he has scale, but if he does, then I think he's just going to Jabu. If not, then I'm not entirely sure what he's doing.
Right. And I mean, obviously now Celtic Crusaders making a really good pickup here at the bombs and the iron boots, which is something, you know, sorry, Chickensanity is picking up the iron boots and the bombs. That's a pretty big find for them, right? And fire arrows, so they have their fire source as well now. This Dodongo's Cavern just keeps on giving. Like, just in case you thought, yo, good place, yeah, lots of chips.
One of your best dungeons.
Apparently, he already did Jabu. Plan that is.
Oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nice correction, chat. Thank you very much. But what I was going to say is that, you know, the Dodongo's Cavern obviously is delivering the goods. It has everything you want. And Team Celtic Crusaders is not checking it out. Do you feel like this is putting Team Chickensanity in a really good place now?
Yeah, I think it's nudging them ahead a little bit here. It's really just, there's not really a whole lot that's holding them behind here.
Would you say like there's a play on like Team Celtic Crusaders part and not Cody's point at this? Because I feel like it's such an obvious choice with like how many checks are in there.
Yeah, I don't know how much time that Flant has wasted here, but I think they're just being really thorough because it's all dungeons, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
More than anything. So I don't know if it's a bad play, but it does seem to be putting them a little bit behind here. And at the same time, Pi is a little bit behind on Rockchalk in terms of completion for Forest Temple.
I don't think that's going to make a major difference, though. I mean, you know, the thing with Forest Temple is it's so easy that basically anyone that goes in there is just like on a railroad, like, you know, to the end, and that railroad just goes at a certain speed. So, you know, the difference is just going to be the time that they enter the dungeon, pretty much. There's not much else that can go wrong here.
There's a Zora Tunic there in DC as well, in one of the scrubs. So, I mean, I think this DC play is really going to pay off for...
I think so, too, yeah.
Chickensanity, yeah.
I mean, they can just go Water Temple now, right?
I mean, they don't have long shot. They don't have long shot.
True, but I mean, you can pretty much clear it out entirely and then come back later for the long shot checks. I mean, it's so quick to get to. And it's not like, I don't feel like it, like not having the long shot, I feel it doesn't really ruin like your routing as that much either, because you can easily just kind of skip over the checks that are there, right?
I don't know. I don't think I would do that. I think I would rather just go do guaranteed progression, especially after finding this information that the bomb bag is in DC. You're just going to see Rockchalk go to DC, go get the bomb bag, and then at that point, or just go fire.
Yeah.
But
Fire.
we'll probably see
GCG
Kaori
maybe.
go
Ice
fire.
Cavern.
Yeah, we'll probably see Kaori at the very least go fire before Rockchalk. I think it'll get finished a little bit before them in terms of DC versus Forest, so it's also a consideration here. Really depends here what Flant does when he goes back adult. I would assume he's going to go to DC, but we'll see here.
Yeah. And
Pi doesn't know that's not allowed, so it's fine that he passed through the Song Time block from the other side. It's one-way collision.
Right.
But I guess he wasn't quite sure about that, so always good to be safe than sorry. But
Right, yeah, because messing up like your logic and like doing a skip that is easy. I feel like this is a mistake a lot of beginners make. Often it's like, okay, they think like, sure, I can do this out of logic, no problem. But then they get some item afterwards, and they don't consider that, hey, this item is out of logic. That's really going to like affect your routing, because you really shouldn't assume you have access to it. It's nice to have, but like you need to keep it in mind. Because if you're looking for the item that kind of like locks that item, then you can get really confused in what checks you should be doing at this point. What did happen to him there? That was a bit weird. What I am a bit more what I'm a bit more confused about though is why is he leaving Forest Temple?
oh,
Doesn't have strength.
strength. But he has to go get the strength from Shabu. So he cleared the forest only for the information, while Flant's gonna make his way eventually to Dongos here.
Do you feel that like that's perhaps a bit of a weird play to go check Forest Temple just for the information when you don't have strength yet? Like I feel like personally I would just go do progression, get Jabu, get the strength, and then go to Forest Temple, because at least you can full clear it, right?
I mean, why not just have Flant go to Forest Temple? Flant could have been there 15 minutes ago, probably.
True.
He already has the strength, so at that point, why not just Flant go to Forest and then Pi just go sooner to Jabu? So I think it really just comes down to their reach in the seed. I think they're just trying to have a bigger reach to get more of the items because they know it's AD.
Right.
But I think the more the committal kind of a strategy coming from the other team here in Chickensanity is just coming off better in the seed. They're just wasting less time. Yeah, we're gonna see an immediate fire at some point here, actually, from Kaori.
Interesting to see what's in there. I mean, we're still looking for a couple of items that are really important. We're still looking for that long shot. That's gonna be the next big find. And I guess Din's fire is something we're also really looking for. That lock shot temple at this time. So those are the two items I'm really looking for. I think pretty much everything else we've got, right? We've got the iron boots, we've got hover boots, we've got hammer, bombs, bow. You know where light arrows are. We're not even that far from go mode, are we?
Need a second strength and long shot.
Starting to all come together, but of course, the faster you find all of the items this quickly in the early game, that just means that there's all that many more dead checks that you're going to find later on, because if the item is there, it's not going to be somewhere else. It could be a very long time before they find that long shot or dense fire. But I think that's also kind of a blessing though in disguise from AD, because if you're doing AD, like there's no such thing as something that isn't okay for you, except for like outdoor areas. For any dungeon you're going into, even if there's nothing in there, you still haven't really wasted your time. You still have to go there eventually anyway. And we find a second bomb back in Forest Temple. Nice, he doesn't have to go to DC for that. Even
more reason why it was bad for Flant to maybe put this off a little bit more. I think the slight aversion to dungeons there, like 5 minute or something lead that I think Chickensanity has right now. I think that could lead to a larger gap here between the two teams. It really depends on what's which dungeons hold which items, if any at all. It really depends on which dungeons they are too. I think put which team ahead here.
I must admit, I'm a little bit confused because now we see Flant going to Forest Temple, right? And Pi was just there. Like, I'm not really understanding the decision to have Pi go to Forest Temple at all if you're just going there yourself, like moments later anyway. Like, I don't feel like this wins you any time, personally. Yeah, Chickensanity doesn't. It's true that Chickensanity hasn't finished Jabba yet, so they'll have to come back for that. That is very true, but I mean, I feel like that would have cost them a lot of time if there was no bow in Gaunt City, but that there was a bow in Gaunt City. So I feel like, they still picked up that strength, which is still really important. But they got the most important item out of Jabu, right? So I feel like it's not really a waste of time on their part. It's not ideal, but it's still, still I wouldn't call it a bad thing at all.
Even on total number of dungeons per team, they're 5 versus 5 right now. It's pretty similar points in each dungeon too. So it's pretty likely that there's no lead at all yet. It really depends on what's in the late game here. These last 3 items that we need to find: Strength 2, Long Shot, and it really depends where they are and which team gets to it first, I think.
Right. Yeah, I would say right now both teams are definitely very equal. I don't think you could really point either of these teams and say, well, this team is definitely ahead. It's just too close right now. We're about to see Phantom Ganon here, though. So I have a confession to make, Emo. I'm really bad at the tennis mini game with Ganon. I can't do it. Whether I use a bottle or a sword or anything, I can't do the timing.
For which one?
Doesn't matter. Either one. It's horrible. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I can't do it. Tyrus I believe Tyrus is in the chat, and Tyrus is one of the few people that knows. But I streamed Zelda 5 years ago for the first time I streamed it, and I got to Ganon's castle, and I did the boss fight against Ganondorf. And I failed on a tennis mini game for 20 minutes straight, and I'm not ashamed of it. I had 3 fairies, I used all of them, and I had double defense as well. That's how bad it was. I must have fallen down 50 times. It's still on my channel if anyone's interested in seeing just the worst Ganondorf kill ever. It's a real good way to boost your own morale if you think you're not good at the game. Yeah, indeed, Tears is indeed one of our trackers. Again, I would like to do a quick shout out to my co-host Emo here, and to our trackers, Tears and Midamon, and of course to Star for being the moderator for this seat, and Hell Knight for hosting fantastic tournament. And of course our runners, iateyourpie, Flant, Rockchalk, and Koari. I feel if you're enjoying this race, make sure you give our races a follow on Twitch. I'm sure they would appreciate that. And, you get to see more amazing gameplay from these people.
Now, while we're killing time here, while the players just kind of go over things we know about, outside of, Fire Temple, we'll see if anything's there in a little bit. Can you guess how hot it is here right now? And can you guess the conditions for the forecast here? So, sunny and, 74 or whatever. So,
well, I don't know exactly where you're living, so it's a bit hard for me to guess. And the US is a big place. There are a lot of different climates. But my gut instinct is it's bloody hot, and the forecast is bloody hotter.
Yeah, so looking on my iPhone here, I went to the weather page, and for my city, the temperature right now is 102.
Okay.
And the conditions are smoke.
Oh, I guess the forests are on fire then, yeah?
Yeah.
Oof. Oh man, that's not good. That is really not good.
Yeah, when you wake up in the morning and it's fucking hot and bad as conditions, I'm just hey.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I would still prefer that over the kind of heat that I have over here in the Netherlands. Like it's incredibly humid over here. Like basically the Netherlands is just one big swamp, and it gets very warm here. And so you have this heat, but it's also like this choking humidity that it's just sweaty as hell. You know, they say that the country floods because it's below sea level, but I'm pretty sure the country floods because of how much people are sweating here. That seems way more believable to me. Like, I tell you, it's
probably.
very
I don't really
touchy.
sweat though. I mean, it's it's like 10% humidity out here, so like it'll get really fucking hot, but it's pretty fine.
Over here, it's unbearable. One of the reasons why I can actually do these streams is because I sleep really badly when it's hot, so I have to wait until it's like in the morning. It has cooled down in the night. So my sleeping schedule is just all kinds of messed up right now. But that doesn't mean that I'm here bringing you this seed and my commentary for it. So, every gray cloud has a silver lining. Prelude in the wasteland.
Ooh. Could be a really fast into the seed. I think the seed has a potential to sub 2. Really depends on where these items are. Like if they're at anywhere near the dungeons, they're going to be very dungeon centric in the seed right now because they know it's all dungeons. So they're really not going to waste a ton of time in the overworld if they don't have to.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Of course, the problem is it could be anywhere. They don't have any hints as to where items, as to what zones are good to check out, because obviously there's no way of the hero hints in co-op settings. That would be a little bit too crazy. So, it could be anywhere. That's always the problem with kinds of seeds. But yeah, I agree with you. This could definitely be a very fast seed. I don't know if sub 2 is realistic. Of course, like, to sub to this seed, I think theoretically speaking it's possible, but that does require, like, your mechanics to be really consistent. Because, we're already at 1 minute 50. There's still a lot of dungeons left to go, and 45 minutes for that many dungeons, I don't think is that realistic.
The progression item could be behind you.
Yeah. Could be around every corner.
I hope it's around every corner. Wow, that'd be a really fast seed.
Yep, true. We have all had like ridiculous seeds, right? Like just our complete jets. I think I had one seed that was so fast I couldn't even call it a jet. I just called it the Saturn V rocket because, like, I started the game and every single hint led to the items I needed, and then I was looking for one more item in a long shot. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to Forest Temple. I have everything I need. It's progression, and the very first check I do in Forest Temple is a long shot. Like it was that kind of seed, right? Like sub 3 that, but like I'm definitely not good enough to sub 3 consistently. So sometimes you just get lucky. And we're about to prepare a nade here from iateyourpie. Very nice. Another wallet indeed, so 500 rupees. We don't know if it's required yet, but I do believe we have seen all the shops now. So I don't think there's much use for 500.
No, not really. It's supposed to pick up light arrows, so it doesn't really have to rupee route at all, in the very least. And every player is pretty much going to put off light arrows, I think, until the very end.
Yeah.
Or, until they're very sure they're going to do a last age change. I mean, they're going to find Prelude very potentially. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen Ice Cavern yet, but they're all just doing progression still.
Yeah, makes sense. I personally, when these light arrows, I would route them in once I get Requiem, and if I've got a good feeling Child Link is probably going to be acquired for Spirit Temple, right? So you can just route it in there. Like you become a young adult, you become young Link, you go to the market's bazaar, and then boom, you get your light arrows and you go off to. That seems like a good time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wall is definitely I agree. We get Lightwing going Nocturne of Shadow. Yeah, that's also a really good time to get it, obviously. I mean, you have to leave the castle for it anyway, so you might pick it up on the way there. Plenty of good times to pick it up anyway. Shouldn't be any time wasted on the way there. For a second there, I thought we were seeing Strength 2 from Fire Temple, but it was just Deku. Have you ever been really debated by an item in a seed, Emo? Like you thought you saw something and then you checked it out and it was just nothing, or you just did a check that you thought it would be good and it was just nothing.
I mean, which time?
Yeah, true. I think the funniest debate I've ever seen, it wasn't really a debate, but it was on Sopar's stream. And it was just, I think you were doing the same seed, but it wasn't all dungeon seed, but he didn't want to like do it. So we're like, okay, I've got Zarya, so I'm gonna do only Zarya Song's checks that I have left. And if it's not on there, then it's all dungeons confirmed. So he goes to both of them, and the debates in this case were that both checks were fools. Like, that is just too funny. Just too funny.
It happens, I don't know, fairly often. I don't know if it's fairly often, but there's been multiple times where I've maybe not misseen it, but getting just debated by like a whole dungeon is very possible. And when you have limited information like this, it's probably more of a thing. But yeah, I mean, co-op seeds and knowing that it's all dungeons, though, you're gonna be pretty committed to just, you know, pretty much splitting the whole game in half. You know, you're gonna pretty much clear everything as a team. It's just a case of sequencing and where are the actual items. So it'll come down to that, you know, reaching out into the seed, having max visibility, seeing where everything is. I think is going to come more in handy here. So between the two teams, in terms of like who's seen the most, still think it's Chickensanity by a little bit.
I agree. A Fire Temple, they've seen pretty much all of it now, and Celtic Crusaders has not seen a bit of Fire Temple yet. I mean, that's not a big loss for them because there's nothing there, but it's still information that Chickensanity has, and Celtic Crusaders does not.
Based on how they've been playing, I mean, I think both teams have played very safe for the most part, so we're probably just going to see dungeon swapping for the next few dungeons even. So we're going to see Fire Temple from Celtland Crusaders side probably pretty soon.
Right.
Depends on how Flant and Pie kind of split it here. Flant's almost done with Forest Temple, so he might want to go to Ice Cavern himself and have Pie go to Fire, scout that out.
Once Koari is done with Fire Temple, what do you think will be his next play? Like, what would you do if you were done with Fire Temple?
From Koari's side?
Yeah. Indeed, where will the Silver Gauntlets be? It could be anywhere. I'm saying Ice Cavern. I think
I'd probably go to Ice Cavern. I think that's probably the better play on co-op settings in general. Is you really just want to be checking as many new things as possible. So it really depends on how you think it impacts you on like a time perspective. I think it's a pretty good question, but outside of that, I would definitely be leaning towards Ice Cavern versus just going to Forest and clearing your progression there. I mean, you can always do Ice Cavern after Forest, and you know Forest is already required, so I think we'll likely see them just go to the dungeons. But
you're right on the money. There comes Fire Temple from iateyourpie. And we're also seeing the first Solvache fight. One person enters, one person leaves, basically, at this point. See if the Solvache fight goes well. I mean, Solvache can be a bit of a troll, especially if it's spawned from the hole that you're dropping bombs in.
I think the biggest thing in terms of like wanting to go to Ice Cavern rather than going, you know, the Forest from Koari's perspective. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, you're going to get Requiem anyway at Ice Cavern, so you're going to go there pretty much 100% of the time anyway.
Right. I mean, Requiem is such a nice song to have.
Yeah, so worst case scenario, the only thing you get out of going to Ice is Strength 2. Or not Strength 2, but Requiem. Okay, yeah. Sure. And I'll just go get another song at Requiem, and I'll get, which I know is Prelude. Okay. And so then I just, well, I don't have Strength 2, but I can go to GTG real quick, just reverse go to there. I mean, I think there's still a lot of upside there.
Right. Meanwhile, we're seeing Rockchalk downing Baronade. Very clean Baronade fight. He's right through it. And just at the same time, we're seeing Kovacha go down too. Lots of bosses going on right now. I mean, we are also seeing Flant doing his boss, but it's just going all nice and steady for them. I have a question for you. Like, when you're doing co-op, right? Is all dungeons actually a setting you're kind of hoping to see in a way?
Depends on who you're facing. So, if you're facing a team that you know is better execution-wise or routing-wise. I don't know. I think if they're an overall better players than your team is, then you're not hoping for in all dungeons. You're hoping for
because better execution means they're going to do more checks than you are.
Yeah. So I think it depends on that mostly for all dungeons. I think for myself, I'm just hoping to beat the other team. Whatever, kind of goes that way. As long as I'm making the least number of mistakes, I think that's the kind of seed I like.
No, that fire temple is pretty much just a complete dot. There's nothing in there. So, I mean, you have to do it, so it's not particularly bad, but it's still, there's nothing in there. Unfortunate. We do see Kaori going Charles now. What do you think he's planning to do next?
Gonna go Jabu.
Yeah, right, of course. He doesn't have strength yet. Makes sense.
Best way to get there is just put on safe spot. It does.
You're also seeing the Bombshoe Bowling Alley.
Ooh. Strength 2.
Wait, what? Wait, did I miss it? Wait, strength 2 is on the bowling alley? Really?
Yeah, for the first one.
Oh, that is a great find for them, though, isn't it? Like, that is really something you like to see at this point. I mean, with strength 2, right? Like, I feel like now especially it's time to go rush ice cap. When you have to strength 2, that Requiem is right there. You have pretty much everything you need to clear it out. I mean, they have their fire swords too. They have fire. They know where they are at least. So I don't feel like there's like much of an argument not to.
Yeah, it depends on how risky you want to play because you have opponents here, so you could just ride opponents, do Fortress. You already have Hammer. You can check Valley Rocks. You can get Bomb Shoes. You can peek what's in the crate. You can look at what's in the waterfall. Then you have Iron Boots or bombs to just reset to your location to go back to Fortress. So I think there's a lot that's kind of goes into that, but I think you just don't think about it. Just go to Ice Cavern. You get the song that you can go to Spirit,
Right.
full clear Spirit, and if you need to go as child, you can. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but personally, I would delay GTG because it is an all dungeon seat, and you have everything you need to clear Spirit and Ice. That's just 2 dungeons you can just go, go into right away. So I feel like you're just like you're doing progression, and at the same time you're also perhaps you'll find the things you need. And in case of Team Chickensanity, there's only 2 more things they need. They have their strength 2. Just looking with a long shot and Din's fire there in Como.
Yeah, I would definitely just rush Ice here.
But that's not
This
what
is
they're
such a
doing.
good dungeon.
Doesn't look like that's what they're planning to do though. We see.
I think Rockchalk's going there.
Yeah, Kaori is about to get his strength 1. Makes sense. Gonna need to get it eventually. He's getting ready to go to Jabu, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I imagine Rockchalk will be moving that way next.
And the fact that they blur, you could just do fire whenever, it doesn't matter. You already...
Yeah, Nightball has. That's true. And as Nightbot has like pointing out, and go check out the Gospel Stone podcast. It's a pretty interesting little show. There's more Zudo content there for you. I recommend it. I think it's always a fun. You're seeing DC mirrored from both teams. Interesting. Is there anything in DC we haven't seen? I don't know. It feels like there is.
Oh, they've seen everything.
Oh no! There's Nehru's Law. We haven't seen that yet. Not sure if I really wanted to see that, but oh, we did see it already. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
I think Kaori got it.
I haven't seen it. That's not unsurprising. I missed so many items. It's practically a meme at this point. I've just fell the blind.
Really hard to kind of parse all the information, you know, 4 things at once, and then
that's
2 of them were working together. You have to think about it from a lot of different angles, but
I prefer the angle that gives through the outside world. That's my favorite angle. Ari will also be picking up his string. Nice to have. Unfortunately for us, we're not really going to see anything new here, where we're just going to see another DC clear. Makes sense. Gotta get it done eventually. On the other sides, we see Jabu and Fire Temple. It's just all content we've already. I'm sure they're going to be very happy about checking this place out, though, because there's a lot of... When they haven't had bombs, right? They already found it somewhere else. Those iron boots, they must be very nappy. Also getting that fire source. I almost forgot that was there in D, but yeah, fire source. Also very nice to have. I haven't seen anyone check the graveyard chest, by the way. The component is great. Fire source before.
I don't think they will go for a while.
Probably once you get Nocturne or something, you just quickly do, right? But kind of out of the way.
Even then, it's not that quick. It's more than 30 seconds.
Right. And as we've seen... 16 seconds. You know, like with 16 seconds, like that graveyard chest that can cost you the game. Literally, like it's actually kind of insane when you think about it.
I got the co-op was that close is just insane.
Absolutely. All those finishes just like coming, and others like within seconds. It was actually kind of wild. It was actually kind of hard to figure out what team would win because it was just so close. Like me and Star went back and forth on like her prediction quite a few times. Then the seed. What did I did? My first seed on this on this tournament was 2 minutes apart. So you know it. I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, I'm having some lucky streaks with my with my raises so far. Maybe this one will be very close as well. Definitely looking like it so far. I mean, these teams are just basically going up neck and neck in most things. Kind of to be expected though in an all dungeon seed. I mean, these are 2 teams I think like in terms of execution are pretty close to one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty accurate. I haven't really seen too much of a difference.
What races in the tournament have you seen so far? Been catching up with the Silver Gauntlets at all yet?
I don't know if I can name matches, but I've definitely seen at least 4.
Any matches you were particularly excited about? Like anything you would look out to you as noteworthy? Because you're also in the race, right? Like in the tournament. Do you look at these streams also like to see kind of what you're up against, like what you might have to? Tricky for us to like face a team like this, or do you change your strategy at all, like knowing what you're up against?
Can't say too much on that, but I think in general, other than like the tournament as a whole, trying to keep up with all that, it's just a lot of time and energy to really be kind of bothered to do that. But I think overall, it's really just about who you're going to play next. So as long as you research who you're going to play against for real, and I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's a really good idea. Especially if they have any tendencies or like really strong opinions. That's really the information that you kind of want to maybe potentially metagame in a race.
Right.
You don't necessarily like use that information, but it's a tool to use at your disposal, and it's free.
Yes,
so
sure. Take some time from your own part. Becker hasn't marked Pie's bomb. Shit. I think it's also partially because Pie hasn't marked them himself. At least I cannot even see bombs on his tracker. Like, not even there, is it? There's bomb queues, but I don't see any bombs. Is this like the tracker flipped or something? I think there's something missing.
It probably just has bomb on it. So bomb queues is good.
At first DC. They're just about done with it though. I don't think he has bombs either. No, I don't think. I mean, this is their first DC, so Flant's the first one to go there. So Pi wouldn't have any. Well, no, that's not true. There was bombs in a different place. I forgot which. I think it was Fire Temple. So no, he must have them. I think.
Yep.
He has fallen on wallet. Yes, he has 500 rupees cap, so he has found it. I'm pretty sure it was also a bomb back. Oh, was it? Oh no, it was Forest that was at bombs, right? Yeah. It was Forest.
Like in the basement, I think, or something.
Right.
Somewhere there.
Oh, we are seeing the graveyard composers fire chest now, so a bit earlier than I'd expected. But here it comes. It's
not a bad point. Right after.
Just sticks though, not particularly what you were looking for. Oh yeah, I remember that seed star. That was something else. Oh wait. No, you're not talking about that one. I mean, started a seed where there was bombs at 2 hours. The first bombs were at 2 hours. Just ridiculous. I was getting it with Song of Storm. It just indeed makes sense. I would, you get Song check and you get the bombs. Makes or let's pick up the Goron's tunic. Doesn't feel confident enough to go into Fire Temple without it. First in the tournament, you don't want to take the risk of dying. Especially if you have like so many.
Yeah. I don't want to die involved, especially when I'm being restreamed on a tournament setting. And
yeah, no.
Definitely not great.
No.
Definitely looking at my last match for that one.
True. There you go. The next person to enter Fire Temple. Problem is, right? Like when you've seen it the first time, like the second time, it's pretty hard to give any insightful commentary on it. Like, you already know what's in there. And he falls to his death. I wonder if that was intentional. I don't think so. I don't think he realized he was on like quarter health. I don't imagine you want die there.
Well,
Like, I don't.
Well, he's a DK, right?
Oh yeah, he has the BK true. But I mean, you could have just saved farm then, right? It would have been faster. Maybe he just wanted the health restore. I don't understand. Makes no sense. Oh, he's just skipping the fairies. He doesn't feel like he needs them. He's like, I'm ready to. Oh, 3 hearts. Let's do this.
He already has gold barns. Really, the biggest thing is the timer. As long as you don't get hit by Evolve, not that bad.
Yep, that's true. How this goes for him. Well, Vajay can definitely be one of those fights that, you know, if you don't execute it well, it's very quick. But if you don't, like, it's a real time sink.
Yeah, if you die or, you know, otherwise.
Goes up in
He
the air.
doesn't even have explosives, so like I don't know. I don't really like having him do
Oof. Yeah, this is gonna take quite a while.
Evolve in this spot. Kind of gross. Like lost a minute for the team, maybe doing it without explosives. I think.
Yeah. And I get the reasoning. Right? You think like, okay, it's a co-op tournament. It's not gonna take that long, you know. Like there's no way it's gonna be that close. But you know, you've seen it. Like it can go really close, and there's this minute here. Like this can cost you the race.
He does have 2 wallet. They can just go buy bounces.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. Like this is the jump slash.
Yeah.
Let's get a second chance on her. That's good. We are about to see adult fishing. Child fishing was completely useless, but you know, it might redeem itself yet. All teams do. All players have a hook shot. Yeah, this is kind of what I meant with Volvacia. Like, if you don't execute it well, this fight can take up your time pretty badly.
Too long.
Just to waste your time with like animations. Oh no! Oh, that is not what you want to have happen. That is just the most unfortunate situation. Gives the thumb ups though, the camera. You guys can't see that, but we can see the webcam. He's taking it, you know, in kind. He's like, yeah, you know what? I should have picked up those fairies. I shouldn't have been so confident. Well, the question is though, is he gonna try again?
Yeah.
I think he is. I think he's looking for hearts from the keys. You know, he's not about to be defeated by Volvacia like this.
Go for
Let's
the
get one
fairy
right,
at this
yeah.
point. And what do you do?
I'm a bit
Doing
surprised he
this
didn't pick up a
first
fairy
fight.
in the first place. I mean, 3
just
hearts,
get-
like, yeah, that's one mistake.
Or just get one in your bottle. Well, you've already done job food. Just pick one up in your bottle and good to go. Especially if you've already died once. Like I.
Need your boots for that one, or at least stand somewhere else. Well, it seems like he's just not having it, and we are seeing water temples, so we're about to see some new content here. Seems like
Ooh.
Flant is like deciding to make a trip there. Has some trouble getting the crystal though. Not his fault though. He was hitting it on my screen. I don't know what's going on there.
That's very interesting. I mean, he knows that the fire is pretty much dead. He knows where BK is, so he can come back anytime he feels like just doing go mode for all he cares. I mean,
Yep.
already has Bolero, so rather see new content here for sure.
I'm still surprised we still haven't seen anyone go ice scaffing yet. I mean, you know you're gonna have to go there. Requiem is pretty much just so important. I'm a bit surprised no one has spotted of it.
We haven't really wasted too much time at the same time, so they have most of the good warps anyway.
Yep.
I know where the rest of them are. It's just where's Longshot might determine this actually.
Yeah, I feel like Longshot is going to be a very important item in fighting who will win this. Without Longshot, there's no way you're going to clear out Spirit Temple. You know, plus I don't believe.
It'll be dens too, but yeah, you can't even do Spirit. You get to Spirit, but it's just a huge pain, and you might have to do Child Spirit anyway. And you don't have 4, so
Yeah.
aggressively dipping it won't even really matter. So
are seeing yet again a very slow Vajra from iateyourpie. Feels like a weird decision to do this without bombs. I mean, it's so quick to get here. Like, you just play Bolero, you run in here, and you kill the boss, right? I feel like I would just come back later with bombs before I would even bother attempting this fun.
I feel like Chickensanity is just better split up the dungeons between the two players. I think on total number of dungeons they're ahead as well. So I think if you had to give a lead to either team, I think it'd be Chickensanity. They're just going right along, just clearing out progression. They're not wasting any time at all. Whereas,
or you go into force them. Bit surprised, but I suppose it does make some sense. I still really would rather see him just go to Ice Cavern. Why are people so reluctant to go to Ice Cavern? What has Ice Cavern done to you? Why are you avoiding it?
Mostly just
how
because
bad
it's not a
can it be?
progression dungeon right now.
Requiem is basically a strange choice, regardless.
I mean, they're going to do it anyway. They're just going to do it after the progression dungeon. Taking those out, making sure there's no items in there. You could just find all the items outside of Ice Cavern. You don't even have to get Requiem.
Yeah. The main fault, though, mostly is like, why Forest Temple? Though there's like nothing in there. I don't remember there being any. Get it done over.
Depends on what his partner finds. If Rockchalk finds like a super important item somewhere really weird, they can talk about it. Okay, or he's not really doing anything outside of boring forest, so I think there is an advantage there in communication, depending on what Rockchalk does after this. Could be kind of planning around that. Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, that could very well be. I mean, they're both doing dungeons they've both already cleared them, so they know there's no surprises here.
It's the first
so
time
I imagine
is back.
it's a good moment. Oh, like how to split up further. And so far, Water Temple not particularly giving anything interesting.
That's per usual. Even on these settings, it's only +5. But so is everything else, so it's still pretty bad. Looking for a much, and so that his partner doesn't have to clear water. I think it's the biggest advantage.
Right, yeah. We'll get it over with. We do see the EC on iateyourpie now. Which makes sense, you know, he wants to get those really important items that are in there. Checking some checks that I already know are just pointless though. I guess some miscommunication there, Paul?
Pretty sure about that. I think Chickensanity has definitely been more on top of it, kind of an execution level past like 30 minutes or so, and I think their routing is kind of finally paying off. Yeah, it's going to be requiring less hurdles to go through.
It is, of course, nice to see that Celtic Crusaders are doing Water Temple now, which, of course, is information that they are going to have, and Chickensanity. But yeah, I kind of see what your point is. I do feel that indeed there overall should be a little bit better. But I wouldn't know. I wouldn't call it so dramatic as to say that they are definitely going to. I feel like, you know, Bombshell is still one of those items that really could make this to make or break. I still say the difference is small enough that one team could still catch up either way.
You could have both teams last location, long shot. Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Star says indeed the Rang and the Boomerang were the Rang and the Hammer were a little bit unfortunate, but you know, I mean, I still think because it did pick up the strength in Jabus and found a bow of their own pretty quickly after, I don't think it really.
They're just wasted less time between and they've just think a gold scale. Doesn't
Yeah.
do anything, but
No, at this point, it's not particularly useful. Because they already had iron boots, so the lab already was open to them
dude,
too.
underwater.
Nice place to be though for the golden scale. What a temple seems appropriate.
Like missed jump there. Not entirely sure what I was going for.
Sometimes you just. Oh,
Hard,
I feel.
it's hard to play perfectly
course.
all the time for 3 hours or you know 2,
Yeah.
2.5, whatever. This
Exactly.
course.
And there's so many things you do in it. Right? There's so many like actions you take, and they vary quite a lot. Like it's almost impossible to do everything perfect. Like, and I think like if there's anything to give away to like someone that's new to Randomizer, for example, I feel like you shouldn't get too hung up over your mistakes. I mean, everyone makes them. Like even like the best players still makes mistakes in their run. But like it really is. It comes down to like where you're gonna make mistakes and how much time are you making. Small mistakes, they happen to everyone. It's something. Over. Go on. The Water Temple is the last song they need for Nocturne, right?
Yeah, that's the last stone dungeon.
Right. I mean, without Din's fire, though, there's no way of getting in Shadow yet. So I'm not really sure if that Nocturne is really going to be for them at this point. It's a nice enough warp song to have. It'll save you some time. Oh, it's not particular. Ice Cavern just not getting the love it deserves. Cavern, it can wait. It's not going anywhere. Frozen over.
This is where like the team's planning comes into play, kind of as a they will plan ahead. Okay, yeah, we'll clear all the progression, but then what happens? Like, okay, what have you done? What have I done? What are we missing still? How do we split that up? I think that's the biggest question. And that also might really come in handy. It's kind of a seed where have just a buffer zone of stuff to do until a certain point, at which you're gonna have to make a really critical decision.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you feel like? Well, obviously, like, Song of Storms is not an option for them just yet because of some burning cack. But Bottom of the Well, like it's something you probably want to do, right? If you're like still looking for that long term, because there's so many checks. And indeed, we did find our third bomb bag is bomb locked, so nothing that they've been missing out on. Completely out of like in logic for them.
Rockchalk already has Song of Storm, but I think Ice Cavern's a pretty clear decision. Once you run out of progression, go there.
And we are finally seeing it, I think, because here we go. The waterfall opens up, and Rockchalk is going to make his way over to Ice Cavern. I imagine. I can't imagine there's anything else he would want. I think Ice Cavern is gonna have something really big. That's just my prediction. Like, that's just my gut feeling. I feel like there's probably a long or a dense.
Both be in there, right?
Yeah, they could also be both in there. Yeah, it's true, of course. Yeah. How stupid of me not to even consider that possibility, because that's obviously what it's going to be. No, an Ice Cavern.
Or nothing in the song too. That's probably what a good baseline assumption would be, and then if you find anything else, you should be pretty happy about
It's
it.
like a gold skull to the token on the bottom of the lake, and yes. I mean, yeah, you're coming for Ice Cavern mostly for the song, right? And like that's already a really good song to have, so I feel like it's already worth doing. But like, if there's an ice, that's just like icing on the cake. If I may make that pun. Get it? Like icing on the cake, ice cavern, icing. That's right. That's the level of commentary you can expect from me, guys. It's not gonna get any better than this. Only worse.
It was fine. I'm just hungry now. I want cake.
Yeah, I'm hungry too, but we're gonna have to wait a bit longer. Not a good time to have dinner right now. Yeah, it is starting to look like a classic case of where is that long shot hidden today, and that is usually how it goes with these. Always one item and somewhere really stupid. Yeah, what do you say? It's Ice Cavern. It's exactly like every other Ice Cavern you've seen before. Nothing surprising here, nothing new, nothing exciting. Exact same, collecting the silver rupees, going into the side cave, in the blue fire, and then going into the bigger cave, the blocks. So, you know, probably shield ground jumping, obviously faster. That's what he's going to go for. I mean, he has bombs and a shield, so he's not going to do the fancy like hips that you hope. I find those really exciting. The shield. What's in the chest? Could it be a long shot? Sure, that's Rockchalk is hoping it. Of course it is. Exactly what you would expect. Make use of. You see the Pride Beast coming out on the chat. Do have to love those emojis, to be honest. I really like beasts, and what's better than to combine it with that? They're super cute. My favorite is Pride.
Yeah, I'm still looking for that one.
That's it. That's the one. Oh, Riley has it too. Nice, Riley. That's the best. Ice Cavern so far not really particularly giving any. What do you think though? Once he gets, once he's done here at Ice Cavern, where do you think he'll go next? Oh yeah, wow, nice. Bullets.
Ice Cavern. Finding nothing. Ooh, getting the scrubs. Those, yeah.
Yeah. Could be something good here. I mean, Chickensanity is all. Could be anything in here. Could be a long shot for $10. I mean, that's a great deal if I ever heard of one. 6. Kind of what you would expect to get from scrubs. having some trouble here with the Silver Rupee. I mean, he's doing his best there. And there he goes. He gets it. It can be a bit tricky to line up with something. My nemesis too. I know pretty much everyone I know hates these things. Always just seem to get on your grill like at the worst time, and then there you go. Frozen.
Yeah, I actually just kill them every time.
Right?
I don't even deal with it. Just kill them. They can't even mess with you then. Good to go.
Yeah, exactly. You see him over there with his blue fire wings? Like, he's staring at you. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about, like, when is he going to strike? Reach you over. And I bet, like, he's doing the ground up. Here it comes. Here it comes. Not this time, but lucky. Almost might be a little bit ahead. That does tend to happen sometimes. I'm sure Hell Knight will increase the delay in just a moment.
I think you're ahead of me, Spell 2, by like 5 seconds or something.
Really? Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I did have. So. For a while now. I'll wait, should I be the one refreshing my stream, or should it be you? I think it's for you. I'm ahead. We are seeing, well, nothing in Ice Cavern, just the recovery heart from the Iron Boots chest. Not particularly what you were hoping to find, I'm sure, but you know, gotta make do what you get. You know, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, you just pick up that Requiem Spirit, and that is, of course, a very nice pickup. Not sure if it's the way he's planning to go, though, because he does look to be looking to go back towards the entrance. Oh, wait, no, of course, going to check King Soar. Makes sense. Also, hey, -2 coins. Nice to see you. We are only looking for a long shot and Din's Fire. That's the go mode items that we are looking for. At least on Team Chickensanity. Team Celtic Crusaders hasn't yet found Strength 2, which is on the Boning Alley. Of course, it's just a matter of time before they'll be finding them. Like, it's inevitable. It's check you're gonna do at some point. Probably once they go find the Ocarina of Time song. But Spirit is still, you know, out of reach for them anyway. It doesn't really matter all that much. Should race Soda now. His forecast. Okay. It is pretty typical, right? Like King Zora, you can freeze him from the position, but he still won't talk to you. You gotta get on that pedestal first and address him properly, like King. Oh.
Rockchalk, go to Spirit now.
No hesitation, just goes right up there to it. Makes sense. What's in front of large? It looks like a bundle of arrows. Trying to see where that song is. Prelude of Life. What's on all dungeons? On all dungeons is a Nocturne or Shadow, and Shadow is required dungeons, so pretty decent. So they knew that already. That was pretty much the first thing they found out about this. So that's good. Long shot in Shadow. Yeah, sorry, as object, that is probably true. Koari picking up Song of Storms. So I'm guessing that Koari is planning to go and check Song of Storms grottos, while Rockchalk goes off the Spirit. I feel like that seems to be the...
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would rather just go full into Spirit Temple and do this after.
Yeah.
And the second person that gets there can just clear this on the way.
We did, of course, see ice arrows there from the grotto near the Colossus. We are doing pretty good on meme percentage here.
guess the best argument is checking this stuff now is Pie's pretty far from even getting here. But I don't know. I don't know. At the same time, I'd rather just know where all the small keys are so that Pie knows whether or not he needs to go Child Spirit at all. Might even circumvent Ice Cavern.
I think you might be having the wrong layout because it's
Oh wait. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I was a bit confused there for a second, but like they don't have access to their temple yet.
right.
They will soon though. That ice cavern is being cleared, so as glacially slow as ever.
Yeah, it's still a good question. That's that extent, I guess. Maybe.
Let's see. Your temple. This is gonna be pretty important part. I think if the long shot is here, then I think that puts Chickensanity in an incredibly good position. Because at that point, you pretty much know where everything you need is. And I do find a small key as adult link, so that does mean like child link, child spirit is not necessarily required, right?
Depends. I mean, you can still have boss key in child spirit, so can't really come to any conclusions until you have enough small keys and boss key.
But it does at least mean you can make some progress. It's at least something.
I'd rather much find a small key here and be pretty much clear,
right?
More times than not.
And we are seeing, I believe, the last force temple that we'll be seeing in this seed, and I'm so happy, to be honest, to not have to see this boring ass dungeon anymore.
Oh, well, there's boss key.
Oh, that's very good. Finding both a small key and boss key. Well, that's like pretty much the best case scenario, right? Like, I mean, the only problem is, of course, that Child Link might still, that long shot might be there.
Could be, but gonna be able to clear. Oh,
That's true.
Pretty much. I mean.
Nice spin attack there to get those ice statues at the same time. What are they? Do you know what those things are called? Those like weird like things that breathe like ice fire on you?
Something dumb. I think it's freezer.
Freezer? The soul of the names in this fucking game, dude. I can't even handle it. They're so weird. I think P-Hat's like probably my favorite name, to be honest. It's so weird. It makes no sense.
Not even green.
I mean, they're yellow, so maybe they're talking about a different kind of pea. I don't know.
Not green.
Rockchalk must be feeling pretty good though about finding that boss key and a small key. He's like, hell yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Gale Passaran? Oh,
I don't know what that is.
what I find even more confusing personally is that you have the Wolfos. Okay, that name makes sense. But then you have the Stalfos. Why are skeletons called Stalfos? That part never made sense. This is where Child Spirit is required. Items are not punished for both getting Requiem. Yep, yeah, that is true. I mean, I don't know. The Kaori is doing Ice Captain now, so he's about to get Requiem too. So he could do those child checks real quickly, you know, when he goes child anyway at some point. Split up the workload. I mean, that's kind of key to like winning co-op. But like, you need to distribute the work between you. Really even do it in such a way that you know you can both do it efficiently. I feel like that's. That's what I would have named. Good question. And indeed, that was a winner piece of heart. I think we've got all the meme items now. It's just one of those seeds. I mean, when it's all dungeons, you're gonna do all the checks. You're pretty much bound to find all the meme items at some point. Of course, well, long before you find your long shots or your other important items.
Rockchalk accidentally resetting the game. Not the replays yet. Or oh, never mind.
You'll get it, right?
This happens sometimes.
Must be happy to have that fire source now, of course. Can do these checks that, you know, normally would do as a child. Very nice. Saves you some time. And we are, of course, well over the 2-hour mark now, and progression is looking pretty good on both teams. Chickensanity, I think, is slightly ahead with 4 temples. And of course, they are already working on it, but you know, Celtic Crusaders are hot on their heels. They're right about to enter the Spirit Temple themselves.
I'm just gonna go back and get it real quick.
Yeah, they found it. Be happy about that. That strength too, though, I mean, didn't really give Team Chickensanity any advantages, I feel. I mean, they got it pretty late. Or they got it early, but they didn't really have any need for it, man. You need it now for Spirit Temple, and they're just about to do it, so... Comes in handy just the right time. Just have to go back for it, though. It will cost them a little bit of time. No big deal. I feel like the question now is, when are they gonna do? When are they gonna do GCG?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think Gauntlets Crusader is probably just gonna double team Spirit or Spirit GCG kind of a split. Not though. I don't know where Pie's going.
Okay. He's heading off.
Oh, going to bottom though. Going to bottom.
All right. So we are going to see bottom. I mean, you know, it makes sense. I feel like you only need one person to do Spirit. I mean, especially adult only. Looking bottom of the world, it has a lot of checks. You know, if the items you're looking for are there, then that's a big advantage. We are seeing Child Spirit from Kaori, so he is opting to quickly do his checks anyway. It makes sense. You don't want to get caught off guard by like some item Spirit. Oh, no one has done well yet. This will be our first look into the well.
Straightforward.
Oh. Come on. That's weird. Nobody has done well. We haven't seen well either. Or people just trolling me now.
No one's done it yet.
No, I mean, like, are people trolling me by just still asking the question?
Yeah, I think it's more of just, well done, see, they've been very progression heavy focused. The next best option, not progression, but it's still really good.
Alrighty, so we are seeing, well, we're seeing the madman just doing it, just throwing those bombs right down the middle. No tricks, no fancy setups. Just go straight down the middle. That's how I do it as well. That's what I'm using. I can't even do the fancy tricks, but I've done it so much as a child that I know how to do it. The bad way. Usually the light arrow picks up though. Makes sense. You know, you're a child and you're there anyway. You might as well go pick it up.
Like what you were saying earlier, getting the light arrow before going to chop.
Just a natural moment to pick them up, right? Of course, we are about to find out from Koari's side if there's anything worth coming for here. Guys, might be a waste of their time. Won't cost them much though, because Chickensanity also has to come here at some point. Yeah, Requiem is logically required because we haven't found a lens yet. Oh, and there's shield. It's gone. Rip your shields. Question is, will Botherwell hold anything interesting? How many skulls are exactly in Botherwell, do you know?
Yeah, there's two in the main room and one by the door.
Right. You know, in my experience, okay, like this is pure anecdote, like I feel like very often Botherwell has. Yeah, of course, but like, I do find that it's quite often in here. Now I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen any slingshot upgrade. Those appear pretty early on because how useless they are.
Cotton bows are probably one of your two best items because it's on a skull before you even. It makes it more possible that you just don't go to a dungeon and go this way.
That Din's fire and long shot, they just don't want to show up today. They're just hiding. We do see. Oh, I think we are about to see chickens from Chickensanity. Seems appropriate, right? For a team with that name. Oh. Hey, what? Oh, are they doing Skull Mask? I think they are. Yeah, they're also doing chickens, of course. You know, you can do this at the same time. You just quickly talk to the guard and then go back to finish with the chickens. Do you think that's a smart move at this point to see to check chickens? No. I feel like there's much better time. See if it's if this will pay off. We do know Child Spirit is completely dead, so a waste of time for both teams. Are now about to see Twin Rova. For me, Twin Rova is just one of those fights, right? You waste so much time because either it can go really quickly, but usually you just break. It's right. Gotta get it done though. And for all the new people that just tuned into the stream, I wanted to say welcome. I'm enjoying it. So today's runners are iateyourpie, Ari, Rockchalk, and Flant. You can find them on Twitch. I'm sure that someone will put the command in the chat. Links to their channels pretty soon. We'll give them a follow. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Every runner can know how to find an audience on Twitch, so I really hope it helps. Of course, we don't interesting pertaining to you. I also like to thank my co-host Kim Okoda. I would like to thank Star for moderating the feed, and of course Celtland for hosting the tournament. And of course, thank you to all of you for watching this tournament. Oh yeah, of course. I tried this. Almost forgot. Don't see them publicly, but they are very important for job police. I know you can use the hook shots to make Swimmer of a spin, right? But is there like any like tricks to positioning yourself to make this fight a bit easier? Like, is there because I always struggle with even getting them lined up in the first.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell which one. Oh, that's another strength on chickens.
Yeah. Strength 3 on Anjus. They can check light trial now. That's a lot of checks.
Gross.
I mean, Chickensanity goes chickens and they find strength 3. It seems almost too prophetic to be true, right? So you get strength 3. What would you do now? Would you go check out the checks in Ganon's Castle that are opened up with it, or would you just leave that for later?
I would go do that now. I mean, once you're gonna go Spirit Temple, but your partner's already been there and hasn't found anything, so
A lot of checks would like take very little time, right?
I think it's gonna go to a well instead, though. I think that's slightly better. But I don't know. I think checking out your Strength 3 stuff and then coming kind of tough too because you don't have Nocturne. You want to make sure that your partner doesn't have to do chickens, though. I think that's the more important thing here. And having to do an age swap, I think, is part of the cost of doing that. But it also doesn't take you very long to get back your child. So I think I'd rather just go for the Strength 3 stuff and know whether or not my partner needs to get that.
Yep. No, I agree with you. And I feel like that's very valid. Curious to see though if there's anything free. And we're also going to see Denpei digging for them for the first time, but we already know there's nothing there. What does happen when you plant deck the seeds in the ground? I mean, they're obviously really big, and you can use them as bullets. It's also a massive seed. But like, it would just brought like deck trees all over the place if you did that. That seems really impressive.
There's only one tree in Kukuri Forest already.
These seeds just don't like take roots. They're really like their survival rate is not very good.
We only have one actual tree in Kukuri Forest. Doesn't make any sense.
Right? Yeah. One big ass tree though. I don't think I've ever seen a tree that big in real life. We are, I think, about to see strength 3 from Ari here. If I feel like okay, so they got strength 3 right from chickens, which is not a check they're going to do anytime soon. Like it's like something you really much rather would like to avoid, right? So if, for example, Longshot or Dinspire are on the strength 3 check, I feel like that will really, really put Chickensanity in like just overwhelmingly good.
Possibly, but I mean, Hyrule Field has how many trees? More than Kukuri Forest and Lost Woods? Like, what is this?
Yeah, there's something going on with this game sometimes, and it's like it's a weird placement of trees. Like, it just makes you think, right? Just asking questions, like, why is it this? What is up with it? Why does it have so many seeds and so little trees? Yeah, Boho was a big trap, and I don't think like Celtic Crusaders are going to be too happy about it. They did put the time investment in going there. There's nothing there so far. That mistake has not been made yet. Chickensanity. Not unthinkable that they would though. It's something new. I think we're about to see GTG here. Good for them, right? I mean, they don't know it, but they're kind of skipping over the plays that are just complete dots. All the houses in Cookie Forest are also trees. True?
No. They're not trees. Those aren't trees.
What are they?
Those are fake trees. Those are hollowed out. Those aren't functional trees anymore. They're just kind of decorations more than anything.
Just even trees. Maybe they're just buildings made to look like trees.
Yeah, what if they were all anthropomorphic trees, just like the Great Deku Tree? I mean, they had to murder all these folks to get homes for other people.
Here's another big question I have. Okay, look, we're in the Lost Woods now. How are all these like massive tree trunks that have fallen through cliff faces, like separating these perfectly square stones? Like what kind of natural like forest is this? This doesn't seem natural at all. I'm just saying, if the Lost Woods can look this artificial, like we say that the Cookie Forest trees are also not artificial. I think they are definitely artificial.
Anyway, we're gonna see Rockchalk go to G2G here. First look at that dungeon for us so far.
True.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. No one has been doing
Also feels a little bit late for that. Kind of how well felt a little bit too. They just really don't want to do anything that's not required from the seed.
Well, they're already out of options. I mean, we're looking at Rockchalk items. The only thing he's missing now is the Shadow Medallion. So it's Shadow Temple for him or nothing. He has to go find that Din's Fire. He has no other option. It's just a matter of doing as much checks as possible. And I think that's also what we're going to see from Kaari. Like, he's going to back his partner up now. He's just going to do every check he can. He's not going to do any progression. He needs to find those that Din's Fire, because until they find Din's Fire, their team cannot progress any further. That's just a top priority. I guess it's also why we haven't seen Chickensanity return to established yet, because there's no point, right? Like, yeah, okay, you'll get your OoT, but that Nocturne's not useless. Right? We are about to see. Oh, Din's Fire, there it is. Horseback archery, we found it.
Really?
Yep. Really. First part too. Gets it right there. I mean, they must be really happy about finding that. That is really the key item to find at this point of parts.
Let's go do Shadow and
yeah,
look your long shots in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, actually, no, you can't because Nocturne is on.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
but he can just go finish off Jabu now and get it, right? So. Oh wait, no, Jabu isn't. So, right.
they still need long shot. It's the biggest thing. Still, they're still trying to look for long shots to really pull everything together here.
But like, he can go he can go to Shadow, right? He has what he needs. Wait, what temple what are we missing here? They have two stones. They have the ruby and they have the sapphire. Oh right, water temple. They need long shot for water temple. That's not true. Oops.
I mean, no one's done G2G.
No. Oh, I mean, that's where he's going next, no doubt. Light Trial did not have that long shot either, so that strength 3 is completely useless. Good to know, they don't have to bother with chickens again.
I think to a certain point, G2G is the worst option of the dungeons they had left, but I think they could have also just done a split where maybe one of them goes there and the other person goes to, I don't know, their non-required dungeon. I don't know. You're kind of seeing that already with Kaori going to Dan's Castle, clearing what he can of that.
Yeah.
So maybe just a more impactful dungeon than Ganon's.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they don't have many options left, do they? I mean, they've pretty much checked all of the game right now. G2G is like pretty much the last big option. Come up. There's a bottom of the well. We know it's a dot. They don't know that, obviously. But it's obviously logically for them to start checking that out for you. I do think that's what we're about to see. Or is indeed playing Prelude of Light, so I do think he's going Charles and bottom of the well next.
Yeah, I think so.
There's long shot has to be here, or at least it's some. Otherwise, it's some random overworld. Bitch.
Yeah, I also don't want to fall too behind on progression, so like Kaori not doing Spirit Temple here. It's a tough call to know whether or not you should be like full on looking for the last item, you know, both players, or is it one person has to get a little bit caught up while the other one searches still? Like, it really depends on like how many checks you even have left at this point, and whether or not you can back of that.
Yeah, we do see Rockchalk opting not to go to GTG just yet. Yeah. Other things you could check for. You want to put GTG off as long as possible. It's just not a good play. Takes a lot of time. He finds double deep. Not what he did. Hey, Felix. Are these those scrubs the ones we're looking for? Dexy seeds, one more option, small. And it is a bond with it. I don't know, I would do GTG at this point, to be honest. Chicken is pretty far ahead, I would say. What do you think? Oh, thanks, Felix, for the gifts up.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. What do you think?
Really happened yet?
What do you say at this point that Chickensanity is properly ahead?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in terms of like how much they've actually seen in the seed, I think they've seen more.
Yeah.
I think they are at a distinct advantage, but they can also blow that lead too pretty easily. So, it really depends on where Longshot is more than anything right now.
Right.
So it's just going to determine the whole seed.
We do see Kaori opting not to go to ball in the well. Instead, he's just looking for things in the overworld. I mean, they don't know it, but like they're just making the right call not to go to ball in the well. Makes sense for them to go there. They're opting not to do it. Perhaps a premonition, perhaps they did. Not worth it. Could be serious thing. I do think
to bomb the well for one item, I think is a lot worse of the position to be in than like earlier on when, okay, I'm 6 or 7 items from go mode and I'm under an hour into the siege. Sure, I think bomb the well is probably better than not in this situation.
Right.
When you're this far into the siege, you're trying to think about the logic. I mean, the logic still exists even though you don't have Way of the Hero and Foolish. So you're really just trying to guess, what is possible in terms of where Longshot could even be. But I think you have to, really consider that. And it is a really early hook shot too, so it could just be anywhere at this point.
That's always the nasty thing about an early hook shot, like, kind of limit. Well, it does not limit, but
I mean, we know it can't be in Shadow Temple because Nocturne is on OoT, but outside of that, there's only maybe a few locations where that's also just, a thing that they haven't checked.
I feel like it's probably in G. I feel like they're about to find it. Though.
I think this is their best location. Not too surprised it could be in here.
I get that point. If he does Zarya, like I think I can call like logic, of course, that's always important to the logic, but I feel like in call like being able to do just checks really fast, probably like the most. That long shot's still hiding. It's not feeling like it. This keeps spinning. Rockchalk coming up with that. Pretty well for his part. No? He won't be able to line this one up.
Probably a little worse than ever. Depends on the person playing though too. I don't know. Not too familiar with them, so not sure if they're playing a header behind. They usually would be, but this is something to consider.
Checking on top of the laboratory. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Purple. Just he doesn't even want it. He's like, that purple rupee? Getting exciting though, like every check they chest they open. Is it? Is it? I love his new command though, that's perfect. I think Nightbot is strong to not do the same command so often, but still good.
How to kill Nightbot.
Doesn't take much to be honest. Nightbot like kills itself pretty much, like the smallest amount of effort. Going on the light room, 3 checks. Is this gonna be it? Is this the hook shot we've been looking at, the long shot we've been looking for? Nope. No, it's not. One more chest. And there it is. The long shot has been found by Rockchalk in ETV, like there in go mode. Yeah. Now, I don't like to be I'm not a betting man, emo startup. But if I were a betting man, I would honestly bet on like Chickensanity now. What's to stop them at this point? They know exactly what to do, where to go.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna win. I mean, I don't know. Like,
what does it take at this point for someone like for their team to what's the win condition for Celtic?
Chickensanity's water routing has to be really bad compared to theirs, so they have to make like a huge error or like have to do like raise the water level like 2 or more times. You know, even for one player that doesn't lose that much time. And then I think there's still a fair bit behind. I think for Pie, he's definitely not that in bad of shape. Looks like Flant still has to do Fire Temple. That's a bit of time because it's kind of a deep boss key.
Deep
so
fire,
yeah, so that's the biggest issue right now. Assuming Pie goes straight to GTG, and Rockchalk's gonna be done with water. Already in Shadow, in go mode. The thing is that Kiori still hasn't done Spirit.
That takes quite a bit of time. But yeah, I feel like at this point, like if I feel like because the first place finish is definitely good. That's like undeniable at this point. Like he's definitely going to get a first place. He has good progression. He really just has to finish this off, Shadow, and he's off to go. So from where I'm seeing it, Celtic Crusade, if they want to win, Ari has to have a really bad finish time, and iateyourpie has to fight. Only issue is, well, and I feel like this is probably like the biggest threat to their average time is that neither of them are going to GTG. Until they go to GTG, they're not going to be finding that long shot.
Yeah, the routing has definitely been a little bit less efficient overall, I think, throughout the whole race. I think Kiori and Rockchalk's route, like, slightly more efficient routing in terms of how they sequenced it was really important. Knowing that it's all dungeons at the start there, it's one of your temple time hints, so I think it's really kind of paid off. It's a really slow burn, but I think
that's
if either team had gone G2G way sooner, maybe you don't even go Ice Cavern, maybe you get into go mode sooner. You could be seeing like a 2.5 hour finish possibly out of a season like this. Although, hard to say with getting everything together. You'd have to have a pretty specific route, but I could see that happening.
Yeah, same. I can see that. I mean, yeah, it is to need a slow burn, but you know, it's also all dungeons. I feel like all dungeons often becomes a bit of a slow burn anyway, because there's so much you have to go through. Kind of like inevitable. Okay, I guess I'm gonna call it this. This is the beam on Twin Rova. That's not good for Pi. We'll have to spend a couple more seconds on the boss. You see Flant heading into Fire Temple now, but that's important progression. He does have to catch up.
There's a question of will Celtland Crusaders here? Will they go to GTG?
Yeah. That's indeed a big question.
Kiori's already making his way there.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're in Gomo. They know exactly what to do.
Actually, for Kiori... Oh no, he did Ice Cavern, never mind. Yeah, everyone's on Ice Cavern.
Did I hate paper? Do we have any sub goals? And how close are we getting them? I want to know now. Fair enough.
No, I don't think that would change the game even then.
So what a BK on Rivet Chest? Yeah, it is, right? I feel like that's the only place in Shadow and Water Temple we haven't actually seen. So it has to be there.
I think so. Wait and just rushed that?
They don't know. They haven't been to Water Temple first. I believe it's their first time hitting there at all.
Yeah.
We're just gonna full clear it. Of course, that is a... Celtic does know where it is. They have already done most of Water Temple. That's a small like thing they could put in their pocket. What concerns me here is that Flant's going Fire Temple. Wait. No, sorry. Okay, I'm mixing my players. Pi is the one that... First seed. Go to Lake Hilly, yeah? Question is, where is he gonna go from there? Is he just gonna do the Lake Hilly checks and... Yeah, he is. And then I guess then he's gonna play Pawnas and go to Logical.
I'm gonna go... Oh. Unless he doesn't know reverse? Cool.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, reverse is pretty tricky. I can do it. I practiced it though, but it's still tricky. He's playing Epona song, so I do think he's heading over to the valley. We're going to do all the valley checks. We'll find that Inspire, and that long shot probably won't be long behind.
play opponents a little bit closer to the exit.
She can be a real troll. Where is she? Hiding. Just gone. Yeah.
It's possible to get it to spawn out of bounds.
Yeah. And especially on Lake Hylia, it's very buggy, I find.
Could be like trapped underground somewhere.
I do think it's out of bounds. The camera's going a weird way. Oh, no, there she is.
Oh, okay. Oh.
She's found her way back, boys. She's here. She did it.
Quantum realm.
Yeah. Getting some trouble getting on her from this weird angle. One question about I mean, I don't do often any races, let alone tournaments, right? But when you're up against another team and you're doing a co-op, are you often like wondering, is there the psychological element of like, did you worry that you don't know what your team, that the enemy team knows? Like, is that something that goes through your head often? Like, you're like, well, what do they have? Like, are they any further than us? Like, how like likely is Fang over us already? Like, are these things that you worry about, or is that just something you feel because you're busy?
Depends on the matchup. I think in general, that kind of stuff is probably not as important as maybe you would see in a lot of different matchups. I think it probably depends more on ways to be better and more efficient. And the shorter the seed is, obviously, the more impact that has. So.
But when you've seen all diamonds in the seed, you don't think about that so much.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you're playing against two people, so like the variance almost seems higher. Opponents might be. You just have no idea, because unless you know 100%, they're going to do something very specifically a certain way. Almost not useless, but it's really not going to determine a whole lot. Unless it's a short seed like that, then I can see that making a big difference. But I still think it's way harder to do that in a co-op setting than.
Because she always like the.
Possible.
Right. I guess this is also the wildcard element of like, okay, you have two players and like, you might know how they play individually, but like, you know, often like when two people play, they're usually like bigger. We do see iateyourpie coming up here on Garuda's Fortress. He's going to get himself. Captured. Well, there's good options. Right here.
They are coming here, and that was kind of their plan, I think, for a while now. Flant getting caught up on progression. I just try to find the long shot wherever you can.
I do wonder, right? Like when you're looking for an item as important as like long shot and dense fire, and you know that Shadow Temple is required to logically Nocturne. Is progression the right choice, or like would you like take a bit more risk to just do more checks over progression? I feel like Celtic Crusade has been very focused on the progression.
I think it's been the other way around. I think Chickensanity has gone to dungeons quicker than Crusaders has. And a lot of the items here have been in dungeons. The DC was pretty loaded, it had 4 things, and Jabu had 2 things. We've also had a lot of overworld kind of stuff too, but I think overall, Chickensanity's gone to dungeons quicker, at a quicker turnaround time.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you have a good point. Rockchalk has interesting strategy for this room, doesn't he?
I think it's just the fact of just, falling down.
Oh, you use the iron boots to go in the water. You have to deal with tech tides. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that.
Like, a lot of the dungeons were in Overworld, but the items that have really mattered have all been in dungeon. So I think that's more of the.
That's interesting. Someone just gifted a sub, just one single sub randomly to someone in the community, and it was a Spike Vegeta. That's an interesting target to give it to. And we have a new emote slot. That's Bog. That's super awesome. I love the Silver Gauntlets here. I don't know what it is with Zelda channels, but they all usually have pretty good emotes. I found. I mean, that's anecdotal, obviously, but that's how at least And we do see Rockchalk coming up on the river chest. This, I believe, this is the part of probably.
Either of these two checks. I mean, I guess I don't know if we've seen Dragon yet either.
Oh yeah, that's right after this.
Yeah.
Watch out, Rockchalk. I want to fall down that pit. That's not a good time. That was a pretty fast spirit temple from Kaori, wasn't it? At least it felt that way. Is he gonna die? Oh, 1/4 of a heart. He's gotta have to be careful now.
Really not wasting any time. Wow. Under the low left over here.
Oh, okay. Flant did do that shit. Okay. You know where it is. Picks up that boss key and he's right off to Morpha.
Yeah. All of the keys were on the way, so you really just had to walk to Morpha or Minerva.
Trying to come up on the end of the seed. Do you think this is definitely not going sub 3, but it's definitely going sub 3 for sure. I can't imagine. Have to do pretty much all of it.
Your partner will be able to do it in less time, but still like. The child's tips to get AD, go back adult, and go shadow, then go get beacon, and that's it. Probably about 30, 20. Yeah.
Morpha into the corner. Nah. Morpha's dead. I remember the first time I saw that little trick, I was super. Oh, you can. Huh? Closer ending than you thought. Oh, it's not looking horribly far off. My main concern right now is that iateyourpie is not going to GTG, but instead decides to go. Now, it makes sense to do it, but I feel like if you're not going to do reverse wasteland, I would prefer to do GTG first and then go here. Personally, how do you feel?
Yeah, probably also same, unless he feels like it logically has to be here, but I think you'd be seeing a lot stronger signals overall in the seed.
That's a good point.
You just got lost, so just trying to see the holes by spin attacking.
Oh, I see. Oh, I had no idea you could do that. But why does he still have his hover boots on?
I don't know.
Found it.
He already going into water as his teammate is exiting, so 5-5 there.
Yep. One goes in, one goes out. I don't think Rockchalk has picked up his light arrows yet, so he can do that now, right? So, at least that was nice to route in.
Yeah.
At least I don't think he has picked them up yet. I don't think he has.
I don't know if he already has, but Rockchalk hasn't.
Playing a song. Oh, is that faster? Is that really faster? Warping to Helia for the owl and then going like that? I don't feel like that's faster. I feel like that'd be at the best case scenario. That's just as fast.
What is this?
Like warping to Lake Helia to go outside of the Incinerate is really fast. Wow. Okay.
Oh no, it is faster to go to trigger for all dungeons.
Oh, I had no idea. Couple of seconds. All right.
That's not by you. Oh,
No. There it is. Nocturnal Shadow. Just one dungeon left now for Rockchalk, and he can take home the first place finish. Let's pick up his light arrows. Oh, just nice on the way. Makes sense. That'll do him. He has nothing left to get. Just to get to Shadow. You know what's weird? I have all the strings muted, right? But I still like when someone plays the Ocarina songs, I still hear like doo 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 doo. Like, I don't know why. It's just like something in my head. I had to say, I should play chess. I was just playing chess. I had no music on, but I for some reason I thought I had a Zelda stream running in the background, like really quietly. So I kept checking my tab and I couldn't find it. I swear to God, I kept hearing like Zelda's music and shit. I've been watching too much Zelda lately, I think. Yeah, getting a little paranoid. Starting to hear things. But it is like there's always something I wonder about. Okay, when you go to Shadow Temple, at least for a noob like me, okay, I feel like when I go to Shadow Temple, it's like Forest Temple, it's boring. It's just like it's always gonna take the second amount of time. No real skips you can do. And if I just got it completely wrong, like is there things you can do to speed Shadow Temple up like significantly, but or is it just like one of those things you just have to get through?
Oh, that's fun. And if you can go mode it, it's a little bit faster, and you can maybe skip the maze, but you're mostly gonna have to check everything else. Or in co-op, it's a lot different. You're gonna want your partner to go there relatively significantly ahead, because depending on where the keys are, it can be really fast to just get to the last few checks where BK is and the last key. Go face Bongo at that point. Right. So I think this is a really good approach by Chickensanity. Your timing's been pretty on point as far as like kind of what a buffer zone you'd want to keep players, if any at all. But this had really nice timing and routing, I think, overall.
Yeah, that's kind of my takeaway as well. Like I feel like when I look at Chickensanity's run here, right? My main conclusion was like, you know, mechanically I've seen better Zelda probably, but like I feel like their routing and their execution of like the actual route and stuff, like the sequencing, has been really on point. I think actually perhaps among some of the best I've seen in this game. I mean, aside from that little hiccup at the start, skipping Goron City, but, you know, everyone's done. But after that, it's been really good.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think they could have brushed ice a lot sooner. But you can also make the argument of, well, what if nothing's there and you don't need Requiem? So, but yeah, I think overall it's been a really good race for him. So.
And it's paying off for me. You now see two teams in GTG. I mean, two players on the same team in GTG at the same time. How do you feel? I feel like this is weird. I feel like one of them should be catching up on progression, right?
Probably all they likely have left, or like close to it. So.
Dude, the problem is I cannot see how far they are. Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh wait! This is actually pretty important. Team Celtic Crusaders, they're pretty much done with progression. They just need their totem. I should mention though, this makes the routing a bit weird though, because once they do get that Inspire and long shot, they go into Shadow Temple. They're both just gonna have to do a full clear of it, right? Can't really relay information.
They both still need water.
Oh, it's true. But they're done with water already. I think they know where the boss key is. One already has everything in there. That's my only concern right now, a little bit. I mean, not really, because you can see Koari, like, you know, it's just about finished, for example. I feel like this actually might become a pretty close finish, if I'm honest with you. It's undoubtable that Rockchalk is going to finish first, but I feel like, you know, Celtic Crusaders are not as far behind as I would think.
They can make up some time, but I don't know. I think you'd have to have Shadow just go so poorly for Chickensanity here. And, I mean, they're not that far behind either. I mean, they're like maybe average between 5 and 10 minutes behind. So that you can easily make that up if you play just perfectly, you know, really well. The other player in the other team, they just don't play as well. Also, what happened?
Yeah. Flant heading in, staying in deep of high now goes to one, which I think is a better like this one. I mean, he did find his long shot, so he can actually.
Yeah, he's just coming in.
Makes sense. Yep. Well, they were doing it at the same time. I just found it. Makes sense. Ah. They're running away from the smoke.
Oh. The low harp sound.
Oh, I don't hear it. I don't have sound on. Is that Flant sound? I'm going to subject myself to it. Hold on.
You don't have cows on the moon, so.
On the moon? You live on the moon? Holy shit, I have no idea. Wait, it's really hot on the moon? The smoke?
Sometimes.
More I know. Nothing I ever held to be true is true anymore. I don't know what to think.
I think Flant's actually missing a rupee here. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Which one though? I think so, yeah. Well, he's running out of time now. Isn't it the one like on the like the opposite side of where he is now? Oh, it's there it is. Oh, right as he dies. Like, here I am, sucker.
Oh my god. Oh, he's a fairy, okay.
Oh, fortunate for him.
Hey.
Still some time lost though. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. What? Why does he have to do it again with the fairy?
He didn't get the last rupee.
Oh, I don't think that's then. I don't think he saved that much time then, has he?
I thought he saved time. Yeah. They've had to walk back anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't really think that fairy really made any difference at all, honestly. Maybe a couple of seconds. Oh, he gets it now.
At this point, it's more important than co-op seats can very often go below 3 hours. I think both teams are probably pretty much on edge. Know exactly what they need. I don't know where. I guess they do know where light arrows are too. Yeah, they know where pretty much everything is. Kind of execution, pretty well on that front.
Right. I mean, at this point, right? I mean, both teams have to know that they must both be in go mode, right? Like, just considering the time to see this at now, like, I think both teams are well aware enough that there's just not really anything left to do. Like, unless one team really blundered, but like, I'm sure neither of them are thinking that at this point.
Already seeing Kiori gonna enter Shadow before either of the opposing going.
Yeah, and I do think that kind of like like settles it. To be honest, I don't think like that's because if the average time is still like faster on the slowest one than on any of your team, like it's obvious. You don't need to do any math anymore. You already know you've lost. I feel like this could have been close, but I feel like Team Calypso perhaps made a couple of really strange choices in their routing, but also like in just like decision making. Like for example, doing full Vaja without bombs. So like that just took so much time that could have been spent better. Does that make sense?
Not worth it. Especially with the death there too. Like it just wasn't good overall.
Yeah, I don't think it's like I said, it's close, as someone said in chat, but I don't think it's close enough. I really don't feel like there's any catching up anymore at this point. Especially since Ori will be getting information fed from Rockchalk on what to do in Shadow Temple, so he's just gonna go through it faster in the first place. Which is information that neither people on Celtic Crusaders have yet.
I mean, everything's been over since like 5 to 10 minutes after Long Shot was down.
Yeah.
Chickensanity. Nothing happened on the other side.
Yeah, if they had found that long shot a bit sooner, this could have been a real race and it could have been really close. And like, I think we would have been saying like, well, I don't know, like this could still go either way. But at this point, I think pretty much in it's Chickensanity's game to lose at this point, really. Oh yeah, of course, bottom of the well, that was like a complete waste of time. The Chickensanity, like, by luck, honestly. I mean, they could have gone there too. They would have had plenty good reasons to go there. They just chose not to, and that really worked out in their favor. Is it fair to say then that with Celtic Crusaders like choices in routing and stuff, that their execution has been better overall because they made worse choices, I feel, but they're still pretty close behind on Chickensanity.
Might have been there's sequences. I don't know if it matters if they're playing that well. Routing this. Trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have been playing lately. Maybe lately, but we know they've checked a lot more because that well. Like, not going well entirely though. Not sure about the. Going to GG is just kind of a worse dungeon. Bomb the well. And because of the time advantage you get for bomb the well over, GTG more centrally located. A lot of reasons for you to do that.
Right, yeah.
This, especially knowing it's all done. But
right.
I mean, they put it off for long enough that you only needed 1 or 2 more items, and maybe you're gonna go bomb the well. Like it's not a strong of a play to maybe just stay as adult and check more of the adult things.
I don't blame them for the decision to go a bit above the line. I think it was in at the time the right call to make. It's just unfortunate that there was nothing there. If there was something there, this would have been their race to sure. That's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just check the wrong things and you don't know how it is. Yeah, where is Furore Spring? I actually really don't know. Still haven't seen it, and I feel like we've seen pretty much every single fucking trick in this.
Let's go.
Oh, imagine if it was there. Imagine if Longshot was on Skullmass.
They would have found
Joke, but still a horrible place to have it, though.
not super great.
I believe Koari's stream is having some issues on the restream. I personally am not having any issues with Koari's stream, so I think it needs a refresh.
Wow, they're just going deeper into shadow here.
Yeah.
Already see raw stars. Really missing a ton.
And Celtic hasn't even stepped inside of shadow. They're about to, but they're still outside the door.
Yori is already past probably
The
we
halfway
can say is
point.
the halfway point.
Yeah. And this is a fast one too. Like the keys and the boss key are all like nicely like lined up. You don't really need to do much extra content, as we'll see here. Just this room, I think, here for the key, and then I believe the boss key is in the side room here. I think that's it, pretty much.
How to get light arrow in. See where that takes us. I haven't found that either. Oh, actually, no. Oh, we have. What am I saying? What am I
Have you
saying?
forgotten about the shop light arrows we found like at 5th minute?
I've forgotten who I am. Where am I sitting?
I think you've inhaled too much smoke. Well, into your brain. You could say your mind's getting a bit foggy. I think the runners are gonna ban Star from Rolling Seeds. Honestly, I feel like we should have banned Star from Rolling Seeds when we got the 2-hour bomb back in like most illogical places.
I mean, there's slight upside to having the landscape be a burning hellscape. Like you step outside in the morning and you just take a deep breath and it smells like firewood. Like that smells like pretty good firewood.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is pretty good firewood. We're seeing Rockchalk heading up Gannon's castle, sword in hand. Haven't seen a big Gorn sword yet, but he won't be needing it. He has the sword to cast out evil from this realm. Meeting with Ganondorf is right on his way.
Kind of what you don't want to see on Celtland Crusaders side, though. They're just both at the same point. Yeah, doing the same stuff pretty much. It's not even much of a buffer that one player can have over the other.
You can't really relay any information you gather while you're doing the dungeon. Like, hey,
Yeah,
look, you don't have to go to this room. There's nothing there.
Yeah, you don't want to be like so close together that like Discord delay gets you in terms of like getting information quickly to each other. So
yeah. That hand fight not going too particularly great, is it? Can be tricky to get grabbed by the hand. It's one of those trolley fights that can be like that sometimes. Let's go. Rockchalk having this epic fight over the Stalfos who do go down. The door opens. One more level. The Knuckles to take down, and that's first left. Iron Knuckles just takes it to the face. Iron Knuckles can be like Iron Knuckles. What a strange name.
Fine.
Why Knuckles?
It's technically true. They're wearing.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely true. I'm not saying it's a bad name. It's just a bit of a. Pie having some issues lining up with that pushy thing.
You get that, or you get like Yu-Gi-Oh names, like Accursed Knight and like shit like that. So it's like, you know, which one would you prefer?
I honestly prefer the Zelda names. They're a bit more imaginative.
Yeah.
There he is, Ganondorf himself. These cloak physics though is fun. The way all pre-anime, but it looks pretty cool. So, one cycling Ganondorf, do you think it's gonna happen? I feel like it's gonna happen. I have a good feeling. Pretty clean, gets a jump, gets the bottle lit, and there he goes. Oh, no, that was not the right timing. See, that's the thing, right? Like, if it's not the tennis timing, and this is the timing. Ooh, oh, that is not what you want. Let's get right back up there. Climb the tower once more. Not going to be defeated by Ganondorf. Nice feedback, and down he goes again. To be phase 1.
Always, I don't know. I'm always not a huge fan of just like running out onto the pillar. I feel like your positioning can get all whack. Whereas like, at least for the way that I do it, I just hang on the side and curl up. Good to go that way, but.
What decided the race? I feel what decided the race for sure was two things. I feel first deciding factor was that they decided the bottom of the well and killed the Crusaders, which is a complete duck. There's nothing there. And then on top of that, Chickensanity decided to do GGT way sooner and found their hookshot way earlier. And on top of that, I think just overall their like sequencing of like, you know, how they would decide to like spread the workout. Well, it was just a lot more effective. You can see it right now in like Shadow Temple where they're both basically doing the same checks at the same time. Not particularly great. Two hours ago when Emo said this is on pace to be his sub 2. Yeah, about that, Emo.
Yeah, I'm sure I said that 1 hour ago too.
Yeah, you did. Well, he goes to pick up the Master Sword. Rockchalk is like looking pretty close here. Needs to get a couple more hits on Ganondorf, and I think we have to see the conclusion to the seed. What do you think? Do you think the enemy team will forfeit when Ganondorf goes down, considering how much they still have left to go? Or do they think they can? Do you think, like in their position, still think they could perhaps win on?
I could. I don't think they can. I don't think they can win on average. Being both players finished, they're not going to forfeit until at least both players on the other team have finished. But I don't know. I can see it both ways. I just don't know.
Well, Bongo Bongo does go down for Kaori, and that means he can now move on to Ganon's castle as well. Won't be much longer before he'll be done too, and I think it'll be sub 330 finish for both. Link's sword doesn't even glow, what the hell? And down he goes. Rockchalk finishes first place with a final time of 3 hours, 16 minutes, 8 seconds, and 53 milliseconds. don't think we'll be. I don't think we'll have to wait much longer for Kaori to follow in his footsteps. GG.
Yeah, GG.
I think we should wait out for Kaori to finish off the Shadow Temple, and perhaps then we can pull him in for an interview. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not allowed until both of.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. I wasn't sure. You have no idea if Flant got lens. Flant has lens? Oh, he does. You see him pick that up at any point?
I don't know where he picked it up. It was somewhere
Off
being
apparently.
yeah. I don't know.
Invisible left chest is spirit. Okay. Completely useless item. But yeah, that does confirm that Requiem was harder, like logically required.
Yeah. Going into the abyss there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That will cost you just a bit more time. They've seen that Rockchalk has finished now, but they know the pressure is really on the business. Their dreams are hanging onto a thread right now. That thread is the hope that perhaps Kaori is really far behind in progression, still far away.
Maybe, but that doesn't happen too often.
It doesn't, no. Especially not at this like timestamp, right? Like 316, like very unlikely.
Yeah, so dependent. Doesn't seem.
But that's their only hope. That's what they're gonna have to hope for. Cancel that art. We also see iateyourpie not opting to skip by just jumping onto the wall. He's pushing the box. In fact, that cost him enough time, but now his partner is actually ahead of him in terms of actual progression. Still checking balls, but I believe they already have everything they need to finish this. Right? They didn't need to check that.
Yeah, if Kaori just skipped chickens, then he would have been done by now.
True. I think it makes sense though that they do that check. You know, you don't want to get caught out by that, and then at least your partner won't have to route it in with nothing. That's exactly what happened.
I think it's fine. I don't think it was a mistake. It just happened to be the right spot.
I see. Team Celtic Crusaders has missed out on a small key, so they have to go into the maze.
I just forgot about it.
Not like it's gonna matter because Kaori is just making his way down against Castle. He does also hang off the edge like you do. There he goes.
Yeah, so at this point, then, if they're missing a small key, I think they'll probably forfeit after they realize it.
I have to go back for it. By that time, Kaori will have finished, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's no way.
They missed out on the pots, and that is not something you want to be caught by. At some point, they're going to come to the realization that, oh no, we forgot the pots. And that is a very feels Batman moment. Phase 1 goes down, Kaori is down to the last part of Ganondorf. Looks like he'll be finishing around 325, I would say. Something like that.
Oh,
Made a difference.
About 90 seconds after the cutscene.
Right. Carolyn, the difference in the end, I think overall was just better routing on the part of Chickensanity, but I would also say there were just some unfortunate decisions on the Celtic Crusaders side. We do indeed see Flant going back to the pot. We'll find that key. Neither of them. Oh wait, this is a different pot, right?
Yeah, his biggest thing was the long shot and GTK thing. So.
Yeah, that really sealed the deal. At that point, it was just over. As Star said, that is literally the killing blow. Solidified the win for. Uh-oh, no keys. Yeah, one room left to check. They must be panicking now. No, they know. You can see it on purple on Pie's face. Like, oh no.
Why Pie pushed the block earlier? Wasn't about it.
But he's having a laugh about it. He's enjoying his time. He knows that mistakes were made. As long as you just gotta live by them. No point getting hung up over such mistakes, right? Like, it happens sometimes. And win them all.
Yeah.
You see Corey having a little bit of issue here with Ganon. I mean, he's a pretty tricky fighter, I think. Really well trained at him. Oh. You need to be pretty secure in your aiming, because you need to know just right about where that tail is, and you can't really see it unless you're going at it from a different angle.
I guess
Early DC was big. Yeah, I agree. Early DC was definitely a big one for Chickensanity. Gave them a lot of momentum. They capitalized on it in a good way. And here we go. Sword is glowing. All he needs to do now is line it up. Press attack, a slash, another slash, and a stab. And okay, Ori finishes with a final time of 3 hours, 23 minutes, 39 seconds, and 89 milliseconds. GG. Okay. I do think we're about to see the forfeit from Team Celtic Crusaders as they're passing on their menu screen. Give it up for your winners. Team Chickensanity. Give them a nice GG in the chat. And if you're leaving us now, that's most unfortunate, but we understand. It is getting pretty late for some people here. Of course, we hope you had a good time with this race. One last shout out to our racers. Rockchalk, GN, and Kaori are your winners for today from Team Chickensanity. Of course, there's also Flant and iateyourpie who gave a good showing. A very, very respectable second place. Make sure to follow them on Twitch if their content appealed to you. And also a shout out to my co-host, Emo Soda, and to our trackers, Tiris and Vinny. I'm so terrible at names, sorry. And of course, to Star for moderating the seat, and for Hell Knight for hosting this fantastic tournament, and to you for watching. So many names to shout out, man. Like,
yeah, I'm glad you're doing that, not me.
Normally, it's Star doing
and
that.
Thank you to
Rage, Shadow Legend. No, I'm just kidding. Can we get them for an interview, by the way, or?
Hello, I decided to join in here for the interview, and I'm gonna drag them up.
It's like, nope. Get out of here.
Sorry about that, Flant.
Okay.
iateyourpie, by the way, you're muted, just letting you know.
Yep, I know.
Sorry about that. I dragged you up to the wrong channel. Okay, there they all are.
There we go.
GG, guys.
GG. We were closer than last time. We were in the last dungeon.
Oh, that's good.
instead of missing Longshot and Deku.
Hmm.
Yeah, GG to both teams here. I know what are your thoughts about the seed?
I honestly thought it wasn't too bad. Especially near around the 1 hour mark where you just kept getting a lot of items at one point and just having to rush a ton of dungeons. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, the only real kind of goofy part was the fact that this is like the one seed in existence where GTG actually had something of value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up going to GTG just because it was really close to Spirit, and or I was gonna go to the well, so I just reversed to GTG, and Corey got the golds off of chickens, so he kind of rushed Ganons after that.
Really? That's hilarious. No,
Yeah.
we never did chickens.
I just, by the way, I just lost like a minute of connectivity, so I could not hear anyone.
Yeah, your stream went a little wonky twice during the race, but thankfully it didn't take too long.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good overall.
I haven't noticed any issues,
So-
at least from my point of view.
So since I missed it, where did you guys get stuck?
We basically went to GTG as the last thing we did. Outside of like one-off checks like chickens and Skull Mask and Shadow Trial 2.
Yeah, I was gonna do Skull Mask. I was like,
Skull Mask without Nocturne is just so mean. I didn't want to do it.
I mean, I have rolled long shot on Skull Mask before. It wouldn't be the first time.
That's what I was banking on, honestly.
You gotta play the star meta after all.
When we got down to like just Dins and Longshot for go, we were like, okay, Longshot's gonna be somewhere stupid because it's a star seed. But I guess Dins and Longshot kind of paired well together at the end, which was cool.
Oh yeah, that actually reminds me. Did you ever find Furores?
Nope.
No.
Nope, we never saw it on stream. Give me a sec. I do have a spoiler log. That's about the one thing.
Yeah, where did you hide it, Star?
I just feel like there's been a long.
GTG. Okay, so where it was, GTG hidden ceiling chest.
Oh my god.
Not a single soul went there until they were like long shot from go mode, huh?
Oh, yeah, of course, because you're launching, you're getting out of there. Not a second long to spend in that place.
Yep,
For sure.
you guys all did HBA and then GTG. So you got long shot and we're out of there. This whole thing turned out to be 17 spheres.
I have no idea if that's good or not.
That's unusual for my seeds, but it also doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's not bad for AD.
Anything under 20 is playable.
Oh yeah. I love that the first thing we saw was just, oh, it's AD. Time to do everything.
It's better than you find out at the end, right?
Oh yeah,
30
definitely.
seconds.
Yeah,
It's better than
30
storms.
seconds in.
Yeah, and
How did that kind of affect both of your teams' routing?
Honestly,
Didn't really.
yeah. Well, it kind of did. Like once a dungeon became available, we kind of just rushed it. Instead of like, oh, stone water, we're never going there. I guess that kind of contradicts what we did because we didn't really rush stone water because we only went there once we got the long shot. But
yeah,
we kind of rushed stone Deku, which usually
Yeah,
happens
there's-
anyways.
yeah. It was like the debate was, it's like, should I do well or ice cavern? And I'm like, go do ice cavern. We gotta rush dungeons. Go do ice cavern. Requiem's right there.
Yeah, even though it kind of turned out to be somewhat useless, but it was nice to have.
Yeah, because through having to cross the desert.
Yeah.
It is 6 o'clock in the morning for where I am, so I kind of want to get my questions out real fast and then excuse
Yeah.
myself.
Right.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Exhausted.
It's
the
pretty
main
late
question.
for us all.
Yeah, the main question I had on my mind, this seed was at some point I don't remember who, but it was someone on Celtic Crusaders that you decided to do full Vajja without a fairy and out explosives.
Ooh, what?
What was the decision making behind that? It felt really like strange to me. Like, why wouldn't you just come back later with bombs or something? Like, it seems so out of place for me. Like, to just go there and like then you even died to Hovaja, I believe, and it was really
I just don't know
unfortunate.
the tech.
Oh no!
That's just I don't know how to do the bomb tech.
Oh,
So-
okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, then you have no choice.
Neither of us know a lot of tech. We're not like career Zooter players.
We're
Here.
just here to have fun, man.
Yeah,
We're here to go
that's
0-3 and
understandable.
make people laugh.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm sure many people were laughing at everything I did this seed.
No, I don't
Oh.
think that's.
I don't think that is true. No.
I just
Did you
want
see
to say,
those silver rupees?
wait, what?
I
Oh,
kind
those
of got
silver rupees.
I got lost in the
GG.
silver rupee room. I swear I checked that
Oh.
corner like 4
Oh,
times.
Yeah, we saw that. And
Oh,
like
no, bad.
last second, like right before you voided out, you saw the rupee.
Yeah, I was like, well, okay, guess I'll
There it
die.
is.
I've definitely done that on MQ before.
But yeah, if there's any like pressing questions to ask, like Pi and I both need to like kind of get out of here and snooze.
Oh, that's
No, actually, that was
pretty
it
much for me.
honestly.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much good here.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out one thing. I was actually kind of disappointed that I got bombs on the scrub. Because I was playing to do true strats on the doggo.
Yeah, well, that's how
Oh.
it is sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you just find the item you don't want to find, like, for all the wrong reasons.
I was
Uh,
I was going in there. I was like, I got 30 shoes. Screw bomb bag. And then
Yeah.
what's one of the first checks? Bomb bag.
I think it was a pretty good race. I think both teams did pretty well, honestly. Most things considered, it was actually quite close. I think if you hadn't gone bottom of the well, I think this seat would have played out very differently. We would have quite the race at the end. But you know, he made the decision, which I think was very understandable to go bottom of the well. I mean, I think it was the right decision to make. It was just very unfortunate it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. You make a decision, it doesn't pay out, and then you lose.
Yeah.
So, it is sometimes.
It's actually interesting too. I forget if it was Kalari or Rockchalk, but one of you went to Kaka's child, did chain together chickens and
That was me.
Dante digging.
That was me.
And guess where strike 3 was, Flant?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Chickens.
Yep.
But
Still
that
no
did
regrets.
send you away from well, which probably helped quite a bit.
Yeah, because Rock was like, yeah, do Dante, go to freaking life trial. I was like, immediately. Because he did not want to do chickens at all.
Like if I could avoid it. I mean, obviously I'll do it if it's required, but yeah.
Well, now that you still have the stream's attention before they all leave, is there any, you know, it's a good race, but is there anyone like you would like to shout out, perhaps something you want to plug before we wrap this up?
I don't think so.
Well,
I just want to go to
I
bed,
think I'm
man.
good.
Same.
so
That's understandable.
Yes.
I think we're good, Hell Knight.
Yeah, so the only kind of thing that I want to say is I probably will not be joining the wild card race as I am most likely going back to work. So yeah,
Unfortunately.
pointing.
Oh. Understandable. Doing it for fun, right? You know, and if
Yeah.
you start balancing like, your real life work and stuff with a tournament, I think that's probably taking it a bit too far. Well, was a good showing from both. Thank you for a very entertaining
Yeah.
race, and wish you all a good night.
No,
Alright,
GG
do
to
you want to have
Chickensanity.
anything left to say before we
Was a nice race.
wrap it up?
Yeah,
GG.
Jeez.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the race. Thanks for
Yeah,
hosting.
GG.
Very much.
Oh, and then
Great.
has anyone a nice weight target for us today?
No one really that I know.
I don't know if you guys heard of this. These people, they're kind of anonymous here. They're called the Silver Gauntlets.
We can rate ourselves. If only. We just double our viewer count every time we do it. Why don't we just take someone doing random but like has
Yeah,
the
sure.
least viewers on Twitch and then just surprise them with like a massive amount?
Oh yeah.
That could be
works.
funny.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything of finding anyone of note to raid.
I'm finding this guy with 2 viewers called
Is there a
AEMix. I have
post
no idea
name
who it
into
is,
chat,
but he's
please?
playing OT Rando Standards. And
We were
Yeah,
going Gauntlets chat.
which chat exactly?
Which chat? Or
Twitch chat.
why not?
This guy, I think. Why not him? I have no idea who it is. I don't think anyone does, to be fair.
I mean, it
But
works.
he plays guitar and he plays games and he's learning guitar and he's learning games. So hey.
That works.
Alright, well thank you very much for watching, guys, and I
So
hope to see you again
stay.
next time.
Bye bye.
Have a good night.